there against Purdue for Illinois. And shout out to Mizzou holding him to 22 points. They matched up in St. Louis.
Shout out to Mizzou for not recruiting him.
Yeah, shout out to all the local schools for not recruiting him, by the way, except for, Kansas City. The Roos recruited him. But ends up with
sure, he can't make Mizzou, but he can play for a top 10 team in the nation. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or KU or K-State. I mean, it's not like he ended up at one of the local schools. He ended up anywhere locally. So good for him, man. What an amazing performance he had over the weekend. We'll talk about that. And over the weekend, I don't know that I will save this for the funniest at the end of the show, because it's too damn good. At some point, we will hear what is, I think, one of the top seeds in the bracket of sound that happened over the weekend. That we will it's too damn good to wait. Like, I'm going to play it the whole show, just on repeat. We'll hear that at some point. 6 o'clock tonight, Hawk Talk with Bill Self as they get set for a Saturday date against BYU, and game day heading to Lawrence for the KU and BYU matchup. Mizzou and K-State in action tomorrow night, both on the road. Mizzou heading to Bama, K-State heading to West Virginia. Let's get into the show and talk about what we saw yesterday. The Patriots and the Seahawks are playing in the Super Bowl, and I pulled off the incredible feat of getting the NFC right along the way from the beginning of the playoffs and getting the AFC wrong every step along the way because I had picked what I wanted to happen as opposed to what, if you really break it down and think what's going to happen. And then before the game, when we picked on Friday, I said, you know what? Every single team I've picked to go to the Super Bowl from the AFC each round has ended up losing. So I'm going to pick the Broncos to win. I'm taking the Broncos to win this game because, you know what, it'll be an emotional hedge. If I pick them to win, then, hey, I told you they were going to win. If they lose, enjoy that one, Denver. So the Patriots end up winning, and the late night game, or the late afternoon game, otherwise known as the mini Super Bowl, the Seahawks get the win over the Rams in a fantastic game that was played there between those two teams. Any general sort of takeaway from those? I mean, we'll get into some of the specifics, obviously. Maybe that's where we go. Maybe it's more about the specifics that took place rather than an overarching sort of theme from this. But we see the Seahawks and we see the Patriots win and now play in the Super Bowl. Bigger themes to this that we saw yesterday?
Teams are allergic to field goals. Teams are terrified that if they kick a field goal, they might be leaving 4 points on the board. In reality, you left 3 to 7 points. You're getting none because you did some dumbassery. In that game, the first game specifically, Patriots in Denver, I don't get what Sean Payton was doing. At the time, we all, at least I was flabbergasted. You should know the weather was going to get bad at some point. We knew that we didn't know it was going to get that bad, I don't think. We knew it was going to get bad.
He should have known that it was going to get that bad. He should have had every bit of information as to what the best case and worst case scenario was for the third and fourth quarter.
So points are at a premium. You have a backup quarterback.
Yep.
You have a really good offensive line. I get that. But you have a backup quarterback who's also shown the ability to. He threw a great deep ball. He also missed multiple short passes time and time again. I don't know the thought process of not kicking the field goal there. And then New England, well, they got bailed out because they went for it, and I thought that he was short. They still ended up settling for a field goal either way at that point. And then even in the night game, 4.5 minutes left in the game, 4th and 4, long 4th and 4, I get offense, and it wouldn't have probably mattered. Why didn't you kick the field goal for Sean McVay to go down 1? Because even if you give him a touchdown, you're down 8.
Well, I think
do they go for 2 and try and go up 9? Maybe.
With that particular game, they never got the ball back. So ultimately, it doesn't matter.
The ball back with 20 seconds left. They would have. I know.
So they never got the ball back and were in field goal range to where you would go, man, if you could just kick a field goal right now.
Both teams probably play that differently.
Maybe.
I don't know. And then maybe you give up a touchdown on purpose because then if they score, you're down 8 if they just kick the extra point. Maybe they go for 2. Who knows? But I just found that to be a little bit too aggressive as well. My theme was teams have gone so far in the other direction of, I'm not saying take the points because nothing's guaranteed. We've seen blocked extra points, blocked field goals. I get that. But at the same time, stop being dumb. That first game was the perfect example of overthinking when you have a backup quarterback.
My takeaway from Broncos and Patriots was I couldn't recall the last time, and Drake May's been phenomenal this year, but I couldn't recall the last time in an AFC Championship game. Maybe you could mention Joe Burrow, but I thought he was relatively good in the second half when he beat Kansas City. But usually the quarterback to win that AFC title game had to go above and beyond to get them there, whereas Drake May had 86 passing yards. I mean, it's a huge credit to New England's defense. It was snowing. It was freezing. They were going up against a backup quarterback. But that was one where I feel, man, Mike Vrabel for so many years in Tennessee didn't have that quarterback that could get over the hump of Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, whoever it would be. And finally he has that quarterback, and yet he still doesn't get the performance that we all expected him to have, and it's his defense that's getting him to the Super Bowl. We can pick that apart and say, oh, he didn't really deserve it, but at the end of the day, it was a defensive battle. It was in the snow, and New England made more plays, and they looked shell-shocked early on, to be honest. That surprised me with how shell-shocked they were. Though when they needed to hunker down and start playing really well defensively, Jared Stidham started to look like the backup quarterback we expected him to.
Yeah, as far as the field goals or going for it on fourth down, I have less of an issue with Sean McVay in that one because you're down 4 at that point. Would it have been nice to kick a field goal and then get the ball back and get a field goal to win? That would have been great. I would think maybe more at the end of the third quarter, kicking the extra point to be down 4 as opposed to going for 2. But I think also at that point, you're like, we've scored so many points in this game. There's no way this extra point is going to be the final point put on the board. There's just zero chance that this is going to be the final point scored in this game because we still have 17 minutes and the offenses have been phenomenal. And so you get into that position where you're going, our defense and how we played against Sam Darnold and the running game at this point, they've played well in that fourth quarter for a couple of possessions, but even that last touchdown came off a taunting penalty in which 3rd and 13 was incomplete, and then you got a first down based on taunting. They even got stopped on that one.
Is that the worst 2-play stretch you've seen a player have?
It was rough. It was rough. Also, I mean, come on, man. It's the NFC Championship game.
You walk over to the sideline and you're getting in their grill. What do you expect? Like,
I expect the refs to say, hey, chill out, let's go. It's the NFC Championship
It's not
game.
like he's normally I'm on your side, but it's not like he's chirping on the field. He went out of his way to go over to the Rams sideline and then perpetually kept chirping. You're a dumbass.
Well, I will say, my son started crying when that happened because he didn't understand what was going on.
Why
is he talking to the other team?
But that's such a horrendous argument of,
But Daddy, he's really hurting my feelings. He's talking to the other team. I know they're taking their heads off and they're punching each other, but he's talking to the other team, Daddy. Why?
Dude, it's a big game. Doesn't mean that rules don't exist. I hate that argument. Well, it's a big game, so you can't call it there. No, if it's a penalty in week 3, it's a penalty here. Don't be a bleeping dumbass.
It's an absurd penalty all year. I mean, whatever.
No, don't be a dumbass and go to the other sideline and chirp. Like, how is this a hot topic? Don't be an idiot.
It's a hot topic because,
and then you got torched the next play.
It's a hot topic because those guys are actually out there playing and the refs just just along for the ride, I mean, that's why it's a hot topic, is because the refs are just out there. Well, I mean, I got to get involved at some point, and Rick is the one that's actually playing the game.
When's it a penalty and when's it not? What's the? Because then you're going to do that every single play. Every single dude's going to go over and start chirping. That's what they do. I would
say you could probably have a ref be like, all right, chill, get in the middle of it. Okay, that's fine. We'll move on. It doesn't matter. It's an absurd penalty to call in that situation. 3rd and 13. And
how about you don't do it?
Well, I agree, don't do it, but the ref also can step in and go, hey, dude, chill, or it's going to be a penalty, man. How many times do we see a referee get in the middle of guys that are yelling and back them off? We see that all the time in a game. It happens constantly in a game.
Dude.
Constantly.
Oh, man.
But at that point, you threw the flag, whatever. It's a dumb penalty. Both ways, it's dumb to call it, dumb to do it. I don't disagree. So the touchdown ends up happening. So you get that back at that point. So, yeah, I could understand maybe you're going, okay, offensively, we haven't necessarily been all that great to this point. But as 4th and 4, I'm not really all that upset with him going for the touchdown on that point. The Sean Payton one is egregious. I think I think Sean Payton and Sean McVay combined is, I think putting in the Sean McVay along with the Sean Payton, I think they're different scenarios.
Sure.
Sean Payton's arrogance is what cost him that game.
Agreed.
Sean Payton being a guy that said, I can design any play whatsoever, no matter if it's a backup quarterback, starting quarterback, whatever it may be. I can design this particular play. And you put it in the hands of Jarrett Stidham. And I think part of the reason that it's such a foolish play is because your running game hadn't been working. You know you've got a backup quarterback. You know the weather is coming.
Yeah.
You've got to find points in any way, shape, or form. You got in position because your backup quarterback made a phenomenal throw. You can't expect that to happen time and time again. But I love that he went for it because he didn't get it and they lost. And it's Sean Payton, and it's, I'll go back to keep saying it, the arrogance of Sean Payton. And also the analytics argument. I saw this, I'm so sick and tired of the analytics that's out there and go for it and this and go for it. You got to go for it all the time. The analytics actually don't necessarily support going for it at that point. The field goal gave you a 72% chance of winning the game if it was good. The 4th down conversion, if you converted, gave you a 73% chance. So you got plus 1% chance of winning the game. But by failing on 4th down, you had a 64% chance. So by kicking the field goal or going for it, you could gain 1%. By not picking up the 4th down, you lost 8%. That's not where the analytics would say, well, going for it is worth 1% as opposed to failing is negative 8%.
Yeah.
The analytics would say, no, you would kick the field goal at that point, take the points of the backup quarterback. He didn't do it, and now he's out, which I'm perfectly fine with that being the case because I love that Denver ended up losing that game. The Patriots move on, and the Patriots are in the Super Bowl. And I think I don't know if this is a one-time deal, and we'll talk with Field Yates about this. It's kind of like what we discussed last week of, are we seeing, and I think we talked about it with Matt Derrick, are we seeing a trend in the NFL moving forward of defenses and quarterbacks finding a way to get it done, and that's how you get to the Super Bowl? Or is this a one-time deal? Because it's two different defensive-minded coaches that are in the Super Bowl. And the last defensive-minded coach that was in the Super Bowl was Bill Belichick. Before that, I had to go back and find it because I couldn't remember which quarterback that was a defense-first, or which head coach was a defense-first head coach in the Super Bowl. And it was the Atlanta Falcons and Dan Quinn when they lost to the Patriots in 2017. Do you remember, because I had to go back and find this too, the last defensive-minded head coach to win the Super Bowl not named Bill Belichick?
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. Well done. Mike Tomlin's the last coach besides Bill Belichick that had a defensive-first approach as a head coach.
Yeah.
And won a Super Bowl. And now you've got two different guys that are there. Mike McDonald, that the Ravens fans wanted them to hire and move on from John Harbaugh, and Mike Vrabel, that the Titans ownership felt like wasn't good enough and had to, get him out of being the head coach there in Tennessee. It is, I think it is going to be not a trend where you're going to see constant defensive-minded guys, but I think we're going to see more often. I don't think there's going to be a stretch of Tomlin to either McDonald or Vrabel with defensive-minded head coaches getting there. I don't think it's going to be a long stretch. I still think we're going to see the main quarterbacks get over the hump and take their team to the Super Bowl. But I think there is something to this being a one-year thing that can lead to more and more opportunities for defensive-minded coaches, because we're seeing some more defensive-minded coaches be hired.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with guys that are going, Jesse Minter to the Ravens. Okay, that makes sense. Of course, the Ravens are trying to get their Mike McDonald that they lost instead of staying with John Harbaugh. I don't think it's going to be defense every single year, but I do think the theme is going to be we will see defensive-minded coaches more often get there, which will allow GMs not to just go, I got to get the next offensive mind. I got to get the next offensive mind. Who's the next offensive genius? Where's the wonderkin that I got to hire? Who's the next great Sean McVay pupil that I can bring in and he can take this offense to the next level? Instead, we're seeing some GMs say, no, I'll get a defensive guy, and now we see both of those guys in the Super Bowl.
It is something to
Try not to cuss, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll try my best here.
Sterling, try not to cuss.
That's a stream special that the stream folks got from Jason.
Well, I've been under the weather for a couple of days, and
Hey.
apparently I'm just chilling here. Just like it's like you know what? We didn't have our pre-show meeting, and that's why the
We
pre-show
forgot to
meeting.
put no cussing
It was
on
fiery,
the,
man. I was sitting back here like that.
I have no idea why I care that much about a taunting penalty.
We don't like officials
at all.
It was the video
It's probably
of the official in that boxing match.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like, I was over here. I was like, oh wow, these guys are getting fired up over here.
Maybe it is my annoyance with officials.
We've all been there. We've all
Yes.
heard curse words before. I doubt any
Officials haven't.
officials have not. Yeah, they definitely didn't hear anything on the
I
sideline.
love you, Sterling.
What?
Oh, no.
olive juice, you too.
Yes.
Olive juice, olive oil, olive juice.
When it comes to these quarterbacks, though, and I guess defensive-minded head coaches, we can give credit to how good Sam Darnold's become as well. Because I do feel at the beginning of the year, if you would have said Sam Darnold and Drake May would have been in the Super Bowl, you'd say, well, somebody else must have gotten hurt in Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City. Those are the quarterback-oriented teams, offensive-minded head coaches. It's usually going to be them at the end of the day. I mean, I thought Houston was going to have a really good chance because their defense was better than everybody else's. Still, you have to have competent quarterback play to get to the Super Bowl. And Sam Darnold last night had a Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen type performance. In fact, it reminded me of a Mahomes-Allen performance.
Dude, that divisional round playoff game is what I was thinking of watching
Yes.
that game, man.
And Stafford, I mean, that was a hell of a game, and he still was a little bit short when it was all said and done. And that's where I do want to give credit on the NFC side. And Drake May, it was one game. He didn't play that well in it. It is a win, though, and that's what they always say in the postseason. I will be curious, though, moving forward, if you are a team that was where Seattle was last year, the last couple of years, you had Geno Smith as your quarterback, you were fine, not great. You look for a quarterback similar to Sam Darnold. He is not a top 5 guy, but he has slowly entered into that conversation, at least, where we might be looking back in 3 to 4 years where Sam Darnold's just one of the guys you count on winning all the time.
Yeah.
It also comes down to the structure and the coaching staff as well, because that does matter here. We can't just act like Sam Darnold is this all-worldly quarter. He's got a really good team around him and a really good coach as well. The Rams did. Even the Patriots and Broncos, those were really good teams. They were well coached. If Bo Nix would have played yesterday, I'm sure that we're talking about Denver in this game, because I don't know if New England was overlooking them because of Jared Stidham. If they played like that, if Bo Nix was out there starting and that's the way they started the game, I'm sure Denver wins that game by 10 to 12 points. That's just how good their defense was playing. That was their calling card. I always find it fun, though, to debate the what you need to get to the Super Bowl, more importantly, what it takes to win a Super Bowl. And it's not necessarily just one unit or one player. You do need to have a really good quarterback, but for Seattle, that's a team that has a really good quarterback that fits the system, but a very well-constructed team on both sides of the ball.
720 to 209.
720 to 209.
You want to take a guess what that is?
720 to 209.
Was that the total yardage between the NFC Championship game and the AFC
Just
Championship
passing yards.
Oh, okay. Good call, though. Yeah, because like it's 350 and 330 or whatever.
Yeah,
It
I'm
was
looking at it right now,
374, 346.
Oh, my God.
And then it was 86 and 193. I mean, I guess 219, 209. So I was doing math in my head. I'm not a math guy. 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, the games could not have been more stark. What's interesting, if we're talking overarching takeaways, themes, one of the big ones I got was from a lot of my friends. They kept saying in that Broncos-Patriots game, they said, this is why I want Arrowhead to stay.
I had that written down, too.
This is why that I don't want the Chiefs to get a dome. And I pushed back hard on that. I said after watching that game, as a fan, I love that. As a fan, I like watching that, right? I like it when I don't have a horse in the race. Because you know why? Can Patrick play in the snow? Yeah, we've seen him do that before. Not like that, by the way. I don't think anyone was going to do good in that snow in that second half. I think no one, no matter who you are, was going to have a successful second half. But you're taking away the Chiefs' biggest advantage. What's the Chiefs' biggest advantage? Patrick bleeping Mahomes.
Eric Bieniemy.
Little column A, little column B. And why would I not want to have the biggest advantage in the best possible scenarios? The best possible situation. Again, I like the snow games. They're fun. But I think Patrick and the Chiefs team is built more so for playing in a dome than playing outside. Not that they can't do it. By the way, don't bring up the Dolphins, because the Dolphins can't play. We know that. We know that.
Sub 40.
Yeah.
Is it right?
So it's like sub 40, yeah.
They can't do it.
Jack, Sterling and I, we're on the same page.
Yeah,
We're on the
listen,
same
look at
page.
full
We're
circle
on the
we've
same
come
page.
here. It was
Look
started
at that.
so
Look at that.
intense.
We
You guys
said-
are agreeing
we
on
had the
every
same-
point.
We had the same thought. How about that? Huh? What about it? Yeah. Hey, Michael, let's take a time out, and I want to get into that and talk about those things. I'll take some more medicine and see what else we can get into. Get some more drugs in me.
I'm the one supposed to be on drugs with my ankle. A broken ankle.
I think we're both on drugs right now. You would have been on drugs if you'd have said Seahawks Patriots before the season started. That's who was going to play in the Super Bowl, and it was going to be Broncos Patriots in the championship game. You'd have been right in line with a lot of people if you said Rams in the NFC Championship game. We'll take a timeout, come back, continue rolling. I want to talk about what happened in that AFC Championship game and the commentary that happened and what we heard around the area. That I agree with Sterling? Whoa, good Monday.
All right, everyone. Come on now. This is the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday. One last kickoff. The final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you are in on it. If you are a new customer, bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite or riding with the underdog or building one last same-game parlay, make it count. I don't know 100% who I'm rolling with. I'm leaning Seahawks, okay? I'm leaning Seahawks right now, but I might talk a little later on of how I could be swayed and how the Patriots might find a way to get it done. Because, guys, after the Super Bowl, football season's over. It's done. This is your last chance. So this is last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started.
21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
All right, we'll continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. I think there was a conversation to have about Sam Darnold at some point. From the decision the Seahawks made and now in the Super Bowl, we'll have that conversation at some point. But we were talking before the break about the weather. And when the Chiefs announced they were moving to Kansas, and it was the Dome, and we'll see if it's retractable or not, but even if it was retractable, they're going to have it closed on a day like that. They're in Denver. But when that happened, you would see pictures on the internet of snow games and things like that, and they said that they're taking this away from us. They're taking this away from us. And I saw that yesterday. I was like, wow, imagine this being played in a dome. And my reaction to that is the game would have been better in a dome. I mean, like we watch it go, oh, man, this is so awesome. They're playing in snow. It's aesthetically pleasing for the eye. It wasn't a good game.
What game was better? Which game was more enjoyable?
The one that wasn't played on in a foot of snow. That was the more enjoyable game. Not the one that you knew neither team could pass it. Guys were slipping and falling everywhere. There were no points. The only thing that would have been a difference was if there was a fumble or something. That was really it. That was going to be a big, because Stidham wasn't going to be able to pass and Drake May wasn't going to be able to pass. And then you got guys slipping and falling the whole time. Like that did not become a fun game to watch other than, oh man, they're in the snow. But here's my issue with the whole thing about, playing in the snow. To your point, you really want that to decide the AFC Championship game as to who slips and falls the fewest times when you've got Patrick Mahomes and you could have a better playing surface?
It put Drake May and Jarrett Stidham on equal playing field because, the Patriots had a huge quarterback advantage.
Yeah.
They had a top 3 MVP candidate in Drake May going up against a backup quarterback. But because of the snow and the fact that you could not throw in it or play in it, they became equal.
Yeah.
That's basically what it came down to.
Right, because you would take away what Patrick Mahomes does in a game like that. And while, oh man, it looks so cool on TV, they spend all summer training, practicing, right? Then you go through September, October, November, playing the games, December playing the games. Every once in a while there's a game like that. But then we get into the playoffs and we think, oh, this is football. This is what it's been like all year. No, the Broncos and Patriots, that's the first time they played on a field like that all year.
It's been 60 degrees up until December.
And that was a big part of deciding like who was going to the Super Bowl because who had the lead before it got really bad.
Yeah.
I think if you're the Denver Broncos, you come away from that game going, man, I wish we'd have played that game indoors.
Ooh, I don't think Denver did. I think New England. If I think Denver, that was the best case scenario for them because then it made them equal.
But they couldn't do anything because they don't have the running game, though.
That's true.
They don't have the running game to be able to advance it.
To me, it was the opposite. I thought that behooved Denver to make it as gross as because I think if it was played in a dome, I think New England wins by 17 points. I don't
know about that.
I don't think it's close.
No.
I think New England's far and away a better team than Denver.
When it wasn't snowy.
With Jarrett Stidham, by the way.
Right, but when it wasn't snowy, Denver was the team that was controlling most of the game.
They had one big play, really. It was a big play.
Right, but the one touchdown by the Patriots happened after Stidham's fumble.
Sure.
That was the one touchdown drive they had the whole game.
Stiddy. Whoa.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That was first year Josh Allen bad. Remember when he got that first down and in overtime he just decided to launch it?
Yeah.
And by the way, there's the ref issue I have the most complaints with right there. How the hell do you blow that dead? It's not a 99-yard.
Oh, agreed.
It's not a 99-yard play where there's a vast array of injury possibilities. You're like, well, let's just blow this dead because this is going to take 48 seconds and there might be some injuries or a block in the back. He was untouched, unimpeded, and it was 7 yards to go. And the ref's like, you know what? Now's the time I should blow my whistle. Now's the bleeping time.
Yeah, and if he scores, you can review it then.
Yes.
And you can bring it back.
And it would have taken 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You just don't blow for 3 seconds.
Yeah,
that's difficult for some people to do, though, especially the referees that have to get involved. They've got to find a way to become part of the game. I watched that game, and I had the opposite opinion as a lot of people. I'm like, yeah, this may be aesthetically pleasing to watch from the snow and the guys slipping and falling and sliding, and this is great. But I would be annoyed as hell if that were the conditions in an AFC Championship game that the Chiefs were playing in. I'd rather it be, you know what, I'll take my chances with nice weather, or even if it's cold, 15, 20 degrees, whatever, I'll take my chances with that, with a surface that you can stop and cut and plant and throw, rather than it being that, and you never know when somebody's going to slip and fall or whatever the whole time, and it's just a matter of trying to play a field position punting game back and forth, and hopefully one team makes a mistake.
Yeah, and real quick, because I know that some people push back and say, well, Patrick was great in the snow game, because he played that snow game against Denver when it was against, I think Drew Lock was the quarterback.
It was
I
Drew Lock.
I was at that, so I was at that game. I was there. That was nothing like this Denver, New England snow.
Yeah.
That was snow, but it wasn't the wind. It wasn't the debacle. That snow, sure, I get it. That was actually fine. That no one was really slipping and sliding.
Because also the snow stopped at some point, too.
This was a much different situation and scenario, because I know someone's going to push back and say, well, we've seen Patrick look good in snow. Yeah, not like this. I don't think anyone last night or yesterday was going to be good in that Denver debacle.
Yeah, we've seen Patrick look good in nice weather, too. So
Yeah.
Wasn't his first playoff game against Indianapolis in the snow? Wasn't that
it was a heavy snow that day, but then
They
the snow
cleared it.
stopped and it was really cold and everything. But yeah, it was crazy that morning, that morning, because getting to Arrowhead was a disaster. Trying to get there and park and everything.
Yeah.
Because I remember going to the game and the bus we were on got stuck, and we had to get out and push the bus out to try to, so that we can get on the road and get to Arrowhead that particular day. So yeah, it was rough. Also, Mahomes didn't even throw a touchdown pass in that game. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't mind some of the wet, like some of those things, like the snow that happens from time to time. Okay, it's that level that it just takes away whatever advantage a team might have, and all it does is come down to punts back and forth. And if one team were to make a mistake, and if neither team turns the ball over, it's just punting back and forth is all it is until the clock runs out.
It's weird because the aesthetically pleasing part about it is why we all love it. You
Yes.
go back to your childhood as well. You would be flipping through the channels to watch a game, and if you had Lambeau Field in the snow, it automatically went to, oh, that's football weather.
Yeah.
We love to watch it. But as I'm watching the game yesterday, as great as it did look, and it immediately just added an extra element to the game, there was no denying the football sucked. It was terrible to watch. Halfback dive, throw the ball away, punt, halfback dive, throw the ball away, punt, and no points being scored. It did make it entertaining for field goals, which all of them were missed because you were never confident no matter where they were kicking from. I find myself in the in-between, and it's unfortunate because I'm not really picking a lane here.
How's that fence?
Yeah, I'm literally right on the fence where if the Chiefs were playing, I'd say I'd rather have perfect conditions. I don't want a fumble to happen where they're in this blizzard, they can't run the football, this and that. When it's not my team, I have to be honest and say I want it to be a blizzard. I want it to be the Bills and what game was that?
Bills,
where
Eagles?
Was that LaShawn McCoy?
LaShawn McCoy, where they were basically hopping through the snow. There was so much on the ground. When it's so rare, maybe that's why it makes it so entertaining, is that we don't see these games all the time. And when they do happen, fans go, well, let's see how you play through it. And clearly yesterday, they did not know how to play through it.
Yeah, to your point, and that's also what made football yesterday so great, was you had the dichotomy, you had the differences, the complete opposites of the snow, the defense, the running the football, that every tiny mistake is going to be extrapolated because of the difficulties. And then you had the other version of the Rams Seahawks, where it's just up and down the field offense, 720 passing yards in that game. Again, that is what makes football so great, is you saw in one day, a couple hours apart, two vast differences, and I will say that was very enjoyable.
Well, yeah, I'm in agreement from the standpoint of, if my team is not playing in it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Like, the football sucked, but luckily we got great football the second game. Like, the football wasn't enjoyable, but from just watching guys slipping and sliding and all of that, of like, oh, this is football, that's fine. But if my team was in it, I'd be really annoyed.
See, I liked it even though it was bad, because I never get excited to watch field goal attempts. I was glued to the TV to watch field goal attempts.
That's true.
And yeah, it wasn't good football, but I think that the one aspect of that snow game yesterday that was so good is it gave Denver a realistic chance. They were not going to win that game if Drake May was that.
I'm with you, man.
But how is that possible when you guys are talking about that thing started snowing midway through the third quarter and Denver was right there? They were down 10-7. And we're talking about them.
They had a bad first half.
Right, but I mean, the only touchdown drive from Drake May was one where they took over at like the 12-yard line. I didn't see a dominant New England team, and without the snow, the Broncos were going to get roasted in that particular game. I saw some evenly matched teams there that whoever had the lead when the snow hit was probably the team that was going to win. So if the Broncos were up 10-7, I think the Broncos probably win 10-7 in that game because I don't know that Drake May would have been able to do anything. I trust Drake May more than Jarrett Stidham. So maybe from that standpoint is like what it did was hold the Patriots to 10 the rest of the game.
That's what I
where you were hoping you can get something to fall in your favor. But it also meant that the Broncos were not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Because they just can't run the football at all. I think they needed what could separate the Broncos and the Patriots, while obviously Sean Payton and the arrogance and us, liking that he lost, he is a hell of a play caller and a play designer. And I think that goes out the window when that happens. When the snow comes down like that, one of the advantages that the Broncos have is Sean Payton and designing plays and calling plays that you can't really do anything at that point. Like, what are you going to call? What are you going to design when it's just, don't slip and fall. Don't throw an interception. Hopefully you can run the ball when you can't really do that. So I don't know who would have ended up winning. I think the Patriots still would have won if it wasn't the snow. I still think the Broncos were there and the, covering the spread, whether it was snowing or not. But I'm just glad my team wasn't playing in it.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that – I wish my team was playing in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I'm
just glad if it was an AFC Championship game and my team were in it, that it wasn't those conditions to lose at home and go, well, that sucks. I would just like to see what would happen if it was on a regular playing surface.
I had wondered, and I'd probably need to ask Curtis to do this research, but has there ever been a team that got to the Super Bowl that lost in week one to the team selecting first in the NFL draft?
Wow.
That's a very descriptive,
very specific
fact to look up. But the Patriots got beaten up pretty good by the Raiders in week one. And then now they find themselves in the Super Bowl. They lost, 2 more times after that? 3 more times? Pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. The Raiders have a tendency to beat teams that go on and play in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. They just, and it's like the teams go, wow, we lost to that team. We got to get our bleep together, man.
Yeah, that's what it is. It goes, man, we can't lose to them. We lost to them.
Figure this out, man. How quickly both teams change the rest of the way. Patriots go to the Super Bowl and the Raiders fire their coach and need a new quarterback and all of that stuff.
If only the Seahawks would have kept Geno Smith.
Yeah, I know, right? Or the Vikings would have kept Sam Darnold. History would be different. We'll take a timeout, come back, continue rolling more zone next. All right, man, it's the new year and the resolutions that are out there for a lot of people. And if you have resolved to figure out what is going on with erectile dysfunction, then Heartland Men's Health can help you. If you are still waiting around, you haven't done that, but you want to see, or you're thinking maybe it will fix itself, again, Heartland Men's Health is the spot for you. Maybe you've tried the pills or the herbals and they have failed. If that happens, Heartland Men's Health, they have treatments that work when that happens. In fact, they have treatments with success rates well over 90%. They have been successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. Schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99, and that includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if the test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. If it does, there you go. They've got an expert staff with 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and North Kansas City. Call them today at 844-447-6600. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Drake May did his Joe Burrow through the playoffs. Drake May, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the 3 wins. Joe Burrow, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the 3 wins that they had to get to the Super Bowl that year. Drake May, 5 total touchdowns, 5 total turnovers.
Fox Burrowhead.
Wow, good call.
Thinking on your feet.
I like that one. Well done.
Foot.
Not really, yeah,
I'd say thinking of my
Yeah,
foot.
that's a good point.
Walked
Yeah,
right into that one.
Only one of
yeah
them.
well, he didn't.
I didn't walk. I limped into that one.
Crushed it.
I
into
hopped
that one.
into that one.
The defense for the Patriots have given up a total of 26 points through these 3 games. We'll see how they do against the Seahawks in the championship game in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow, by the way, 1-2 in the postseason when his defense gives up 20 or more points. 4-0 with less than 20 points. So maybe Drake May is the next. Like I said, stop looking for the next Patrick Mahomes and look for the next Joe Burrow. Look for the next Matt Stafford. Look for the next quarterback that's going to play like that, not play like Patrick Mahomes. And you have a quarterback that did enough. Joe Burrow did enough that run, got to the Super Bowl. They didn't win it, although he left the field with them leading. And then the Rams went down and converted a couple of 4th downs and got the touchdown. And then he had an open Jamar Chase if he had another half second or so, if Darnold wouldn't, or if, Aaron Donald, not Sam Darnold, Aaron Donald would have Sam Donald.
How much
and
medicine
Aaron,
are you on?
Too much, man.
Well,
Too much.
my-
Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald. Is it Aaron Donald or Aaron Darnold? It's Aaron Donald. If Aaron Donald
It's
had
Aaron.
not, sorry, Aaron Donald, if he hadn't dominated the offensive line that quickly, he did have somebody open. But still, we'll see if Drake May can pull off what Joe Burrow was unable to do.
I am so annoyed, and I get that these big national things need stuff to talk about, but why is it always we're looking at the next Brady Belichick?
We are, though.
Can we let him win a Super Bowl before we start saying that? Yeah, let's compare him to the greatest tandem of all time. Like, can we stop
greatest.
being the most over-the-top, sensational, hyperbolic convo? Like, can he at least win one Super Bowl before we start saying, let's compare him to those guys? Just because they're in New England, which, by the way, New England, this is what we told the 30 other fan bases. Hey, where did hating the Chiefs get you? It led you right back to New England. Yes. Okay? Now all these people realize how much, I forgot we do hate New England because they're obnoxious.
Yes. You had the Patriots fans versus the Broncos fans yesterday. Good God, man. People want to talk about Chiefs fans. That was brutal. Brutal to be able to watch that one. So we'll see what the Seahawks can do, what the Patriots can do, but it's going to be the next 2 weeks of Belichick, Brady, Vrabel, Drake May. Because national media can't help themselves to talk about those things. So I do wonder, we'll talk with Field Yates coming up at 11:30. Sam Darnold was a quarterback that some teams were interested in, but another team said, you know what, we're not trusting it. We don't think he can repeat what he did with the Vikings. The Seahawks paid him the money. The Titans drafted Cam Ward. The Seahawks signed him 3 years, $100 million. 55 guaranteed. Cap hit this year was $14 million. Cap hit next year is $36 million. And I wonder, moving forward, if you've got the pieces around it, are we in an era of football to where this may be the route to take as opposed to the $60 million QB? All right, we'll continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, Jack Johnson hanging out with us. We'll talk with Field Yates coming up at 11:30. College basketball over the weekend, and it's not that Missouri saved their season, but it would be pretty darn difficult to get enough wins the rest of the way in the SEC while having a Georgia and Oklahoma. It wasn't a must-win, but it was a, you can't really lose this game. Must-wins or win, like you're at the end of the rope, and if you don't win, you're out of the tournament. This one was you can't lose, because if you do, man, you are swimming upstream at that point. You are going to have to make up for a number of games because of that one loss at home to a team that had lost 5 straight.
I think that 3 by Trent Pierce and then the game winner by Mark Mitchell saved their season for a lot of ways. Not even if they make the tournament or not, this kept them alive, but it kept the fan base alive as well. Mm-hmm. If they lose this game, it starts getting into, all right, they're not making the tournament. It's basically over. They would have to go on some incredible run, and I think you lose a large part of the fan base. That's my personal opinion, and I have a lot of friends in my group text that felt the exact same way. A lot of my Pledge Brothers and alumni, they go, they would have lost that game. You'll probably watch it, but it's not going to be one of those things where you're like, let's get into it, let's analyze it, let's talk about it because they still have a chance to make the tournament. This saved them. I thought Dennis Gates had some good things he did this game. I thought there were some things that were questionable, to put it mildly. I don't understand some of his rotations. I don't understand let's put Randall in, and then Northweather, and then Trent Burns, and then Noah Boating, and then Sebastian Mack. I liked him starting T.O. Barrett. That was huge. Him going to Barrett over Anthony Robinson was a big button that was, put that in the Dennis Gates positive. Yeah. It just feels like at times coming out of breaks or, just even for 2-minute stretches, it's like he just throws things at the wall and hopefully it sticks. And that's a little bit of my frustration with his, because he played 12 guys. No, he played 13 guys this game. 13 guys. Why are you playing 13 guys? Again, it just goes to me, Gates did some good things, but you got to try and tighten this up.
Let's hear those Missouri buzzer beaters, the Trent Pierce and the Mark Mitchell shots, as really will go a long way if Missouri makes the tournament, because starting off 2-0 and then going 1-4 over your next 5 games to be 3-4 in conference play would be a rough position to be in. Instead, you're 4-3. So it's like, all right, you were 2-0, 2-3 since then. You got a trip to Alabama. But if it saved the season, this is what it sounded like.
Pierce to inbound. Here's Barrett. Past midcourt, gives it up. Pierce from the logo. Got it! Pierce at the buzzer sends us to overtime.
Pick up a foul and watch Trent Pierce line it up right on the money.
First field goal of the game for Pierce. 5 minutes of overtime on the other side of this break. Brown guarded by Stone. 10 to play. Brown looking for Pack. He's guarded. 6 to play. Off balance. Got it! Beautiful. 4.8 left. Here's Mitchell. Across midcourt for Mizzou. For the win. Yes! Mark Mitchell at the buzzer. Big shots in his career.
Unbelievable. Think of the guy, he's got to run out of time. He gets his feet set, lets it go, doesn't have to think about it. Maybe that's the best way he could release a shot. Smooth, nothing but the bottom, and Missouri wins. Wow.
The Mark Mitchell shot, I mean, Trent Pierce makes sense because the guy's a shooter.
How pure was Trent Pierce's shot, by the way? That was about the most pure shot you will ever see, or, by the way, hear.
Yeah, hearing it was beautiful as well. But Mark Mitchell just has that herky-jerky motion, and there's like 2 different hitches in his shot, and then kicking his legs forward while he's releasing the ball. Like, the whole thing is the opposite of smooth, and then knocking that down. But it's like the shot goes in, and because Mark Mitchell is closest to the inbounder, is the reason he gets the ball.
Yeah.
If somebody else would have been there, then it would have been inbounded to T.O. Barrett or Jaden Stone or maybe Jacob Cruz or something like that. But also for Mark Mitchell to dribble down the floor and see that they were not going to foul him and to get to the three-point line and knock it down. I know it makes it a little more difficult because of the continuation rule in college basketball now.
Sure.
But I am still a team foul up three. And I wonder from Porter Moser's perspective and from Dennis Gates' perspective when they're dribbling down the floor, if Mark Mitchell is thinking, well, as soon as they come to try to foul me, I'm just going to start to shoot it.
Well, not him. It would have been the Trent Pierce one.
Well,
They were down 2. That was
yeah. Trent Pierce.
It
That's
was
what I'm thinking
the
of.
Trent Pierce
Yes,
one, yeah.
The Trent Pierce one is the one I was
yeah,
thinking
we had a
of.
debate.
Yes.
We had a debate in that one as well,
Yeah.
and I think foul. But yeah, I do think you're right. I
Because
think
T.O. Barrett gets to the front court, and at that point, you can grab him, foul him, whatever.
I don't know if there's enough time. Once Pierce caught the ball, at that
Yeah.
point, there's no chance. There's
Yeah,
you can't foul him. You would have done it much earlier. I just think that with the new continuation, it's such a risk. I think you live with probably 25-ish% three-point shot. That was deep. He's a great three-point shooter, but there was still a hand in his face.
Yep.
You're at the logo.
Yeah.
The one with Mark Mitchell stands out to me so vividly because he was not out of control at all.
No.
You're right. He's very herky-jerky. His shot's not pretty, but he's hit some big shots. He had a chance to end the first half, I believe, or the second half. I don't think it was an overtime. He missed a little layup. It's a great move, great play.
Under regulation,
he makes
yeah.
most of those.
Yep.
But he missed that one. But it's a great look. But he had a big 3 against Kansas, huge 3 against Kansas. Not this year, the year prior. And then this one, I know he's not a great three-point shooter, but he clearly works on it, even if it's ugly. But the fact that he got the ball, understood, I don't have enough time to drive, to get downhill and try and shoot a 12-footer. Let me slow down, collect myself, be in control, and get at least a good look up. I thought that was just a very astute heads-up play by Mark Mitchell. Very smart guy, and he was rewarded by making a 3 for a what's his three-point percentage this year? Let's take a look-see. It is 28%.
Oh. 29. You got to round up. It's
Sorry,
28.6.
29%.
Come on. Let's go. Give him benefit of the doubt there.
I almost wonder, because he shot the ball with, about a second and a half
Yeah.
left. I had wondered in watching the replay if Oklahoma was under the impression he was going to try to drive all the way and have this out-of-control floater, because he is a 28 or 29% three-point shooter. And with the way he was driving, when I was watching it, I'm going, he's going to try to get all the way. He's not going to pull up and shoot a 3 because he's so physical. He's quick for his size. Oklahoma was right on his left hip, so I know he's a lefty. But at that point, if they're not going to stop you at the three-point line, you just got to look at the clock and go, all right, I'm going to try to at least do a running floater, maybe try to stretch out for some layup if I have enough time. But I almost think he was able to get it off without too much congestion there. They were still right around him because I thought they were caught off guard that he was shooting it. Like, they were ready to go all the way to the goal with him, and then when he pulled up, it was like they were off balance, kind of trying to put a hand in his face, and it wasn't as pure as Pierce says. I also thought Oklahoma, what are you going to do on that? You're all right if he's shooting it from the logo and we're up 3, we'll live with that. It's rather than maybe foul somebody when it's a 3-point game. But yeah, Oklahoma, I know Lebo's probably upset about that because not only do they have the 3-pointer to force overtime, you hit a big bucket, and then Mark Mitchell, of all guys, drains the game winner.
And they're legit buzzer beaters. Like, the ball goes in either after the red light has gone off or as the red light is going off. You don't have a chance. There's no time left on the clock with both shots. And I think Nigel Pack, what he did on that Mark Mitchell 3, I think was evidenced of nobody on the floor thinking Mark Mitchell was going to pull up and take the 3, because Nigel Pack was there. And as Mark Mitchell came and started to gather to take his, step and a half before pulling up, Nigel Pack was there and then ran to the top of the key, went away from Mark Mitchell. Because I think Nigel Pack thought, well, he's going to pull up and then hit Jacob Cruz. That's
Sure.
curling around here at the top of the key. He ain't shooting this, so I'm coming over here because I'm going to go and guard this guy at the top of the key.
I did think the same thing too, personally.
And he shoots the shot. I'm like, oh.
It was a no, yes, because I thought he was going to kick out to Cruz.
What T.O. Barrett tried to do, the previous game, and in which they lost against Georgia by 2, that T.O. had a chance to maybe drive it, dropped it off to Cruz. It was a tough shot.
You a veteran like Nigel Pack, who's nearly 25 years old.
Yeah.
He knew what was going to happen. I mean, dude, that guy is nearly 25. He's older than Anthony Edwards in the NBA. Like, he's like
I remember
what are we doing here?
I remember at the beginning of the NIL, that was Nigel Pack was a big story because I was like, hold on, this guy's getting that much money to go down to Miami? All right, wow. Whoa, what's everybody else going to get? I mean, my goodness.
You got to love confidence in college players, too. I mean, when Mark Mitchell gets the ball, if, of course, everybody here was watching it, I love that even though Oklahoma's thinking he's not shooting it, in his mind, you can tell I am taking this ball, whether I get a shot off or not. I'm the last one that's touching it. He's a 20. That's what I love about college sports. And I can even say this as a KU guy and watching this Missouri game. For somebody to shoot sub 30, and he's right there, but it's give me the ball. I'm driving here, and this game is either going to continue, end, or lose with the ball in my hands. And that's why he's their best player. I mean, give me the ball, and Though I'm sure a lot of Missouri fans would go, I'd rather Cruz shoot that. I'd rather Pierce at that point shoot that if he's open. I don't really want Mark Mitchell shooting a running three-pointer. But now that he's made it, I mean, you've got the confidence to keep shooting them if they're there.
Yeah, that was a game where I just never felt like Missouri was going to find a way to win for some reason. It was just Missouri would start to go on a run, and Oklahoma would hit another shot. Missouri would go on a run, and then the ball would bounce around, and Oklahoma would come up for it and have a layup. It's like that should have been a steal and 2 points the other way. Instead, it bounces off somebody's leg and rattles around and bounces around and pinballs, and then the guy grabs it and has a wide open layup or a wide open three. And I'm like, it's just not going their way. At the end of regulation, the ball bounces to Mark Mitchell, and he's about to grab it and go up for a layup, but Sean Phillips reaches for the ball and hits it out of Mark Mitchell's hands, and they go the other way and get a layup. And I'm like, this is not their day whatsoever. And for Pierce and Mitchell to knock down those shots, I mean, Oklahoma hit 5 threes in the previous game and 6 threes the game before that.
Yeah.
For a total of 11 threes. They hit 12 in the game against Mizzou.
I will say,
the ultimate equalizer just hit 3 after 3 after 3.
They were mostly open.
I don't know. Nigel Pack hit a couple of guard runs.
Nigel Pack hit a couple, but I'm saying the amount of open threes, corner open threes given by Missouri is alarming. It feels like they say, hey, open corner three, we're going to give that thing up every single time, which is the worst. Outside of a layup or a dunk, a open corner three is the worst thing you can give up, yet they do.
Yeah,
a lot.
And it's like that, ultimate equalizer is a 3-point shot, and that's exactly what that was, because it felt like Missouri was just doing so many things right.
Yeah.
Yet not leading in that game because it would be a 3-pointer and a 3-pointer and a 3-pointer and a 3-pointer. I mean, Missouri dominated the offensive glass, dominated the points in the paint, but they were outscored by 18 points behind the arc. And, that could be the difference in a game. And it's I don't know if we want to call it ironic or fitting that a game in which Oklahoma was in it because they hit so many threes, lost it because Missouri hit 2 threes. One at the end of regulation and one in overtime. KU takes care of K-State. Darren Peterson wasn't out there, and we talked about it on Friday that none of us thought that KU, quote unquote, needed Darren Peterson to go there and get the win. We've seen 2 different versions of Kansas this year with and without Darren Peterson. Kansas now gets set for BYU and Texas Tech, so the next 2 games for them, Saturday, Monday, are huge. The story will be about Kansas moving forward. The story of that game, to me, was about Kansas State and Jerome Tang and what happens now, and really losing the one thing that he had that was a positive in his favor of, no, I still do this, and that is beat Kansas. 3-0 against Kansas in Manhattan. And then you lose by 24. and an embarrassing stretch there at the end of just bucket after bucket after bucket. And let's be honest, letting go of the rope by Kansas State at that point, and then pouring it on by Kansas with Trey White and Melvin Council, and then the Melvin Council Wabash Cannonball dance there on the court.
Funniest.
The Jerome Tang Melvin Council interaction.
Another handshake controversy.
Yeah.
In Kansas and Kansas State.
Shocker. Yeah. I mean, obviously Jerome Tang was frustrated and upset, but it was a little more than a pat on the back there to Melvin Council. And then Melvin Council stopped and turned around after there was a little bit more of a left hand to the back of Melvin Council and kind of a blow by at the same time. Yeah, frustrated, but, be frustrated at the fact that you lost by 24, not at a player celebrating out on the floor. I mean, it's a rivalry game. That's what's going to happen in a rivalry game. And I don't know what Jerome Tang can go to alumni, athletic department, boosters, board of regents, and say, no, I need another year. Because the buyout is expensive, but the buyout next year is still expensive. You're talking about $3 million. You can frame it as you got to pay him $18.7 million to fire him. You can frame it that way, but I'll frame it as you owe him $3 million right now. Because if you fire him after next year, you owe him $15.7. It's only saving $3 million to wait another year. This is not heading in the right direction. It's going the wrong way. And at some point, you have to figure out, is it worth it? Can you afford not to fire him at this point? Can you afford to go another year of your fan base just not caring, just being checked out, and only caring from the standpoint of this guy's got to go, and until he goes, not really getting invested in this particular team, which means you can't literally invest when it comes to the money in the team outside of the revenue sharing. I think this was the last sort of final stand for Jerome Tang to say, no, I can get another year. I need another year. I'm still doing the bare minimum of what you expect in a rivalry, and we're going to get this thing going the rest of the way. Instead, it's a 24-point loss. And I know they're missing some guys, but so was KU. KU didn't have Darren Peterson.
They didn't have Darren Peterson. You can't make that excuse.
Exactly.
It reminds me a little bit of Bruce Weber's final year at K-State, where they did lose to Kansas. It was much closer. That was a game in which they blew a 16, 17-point lead in the second half. Ochai Agbaji had the go-ahead game winner. And after that game, and K-State didn't have a great record at that point in time, but the very tail end of the season, it didn't go well, and they were playing the first game, I want to say, in Kansas City in the Big 12 tournament. They lost, and then he was fired. Mm-hmm. It was just one of those things where the back half of the schedule, there was no surge from Kansas State where they'd been unfortunate losing some of these close games, and then they got hot for a little bit, and they became dangerous. They haven't been a dangerous team or a good team the last 2 years. You could make a case that when they had the Tyler Perry team, there was a couple of good stretches here and there. These last two teams have been bad basketball teams. And I was talking to a few people before the game where Kansas had this bad omen of they lost 3 games in a row there. And I said, if you were to simply take away the fact that it's Kansas State and it's Manhattan, it's a bad basketball team that you say, with or without Darren Peterson, they should go in there and win comfortably. It's not a good team. They are one of the worst defensive teams in the Big 12. And now it's starting to show that Jerome Tang just isn't that great of a coach with this collection of players anymore. They wanted to assemble a group of excellent scorers, good three-point shooters. What they forgot to do was find good defenders. I know Nate Johnson was all conference before transferring over to K-State, but it's not good enough. I mean, KU probably had their easiest game in terms of offensive efficiency, and Bryson Tiller had his best game as a Jayhawk because all of his points were right there inside 5 feet. Flory Badunga had 6 dunks, I want to say it was. Melvin Council had a ton of open looks. Elmarco Jackson had 19 points. And it's not that these guys all of a sudden just decided to have their career game. It's because they had the most open looks they'd had all night long. In K-State's, I believe, too, the broadcast was bringing this up, that they send teams to the foul line more than anybody else. That's free points right there, as we like to talk about. And if I was a K-State booster, if I was a fan, I'd say I don't need to hear your spiel anymore. I don't need to hear why you think things are going to turn around. This really was the last couple of years what kept him coming back. I can still beat Kansas in Manhattan, and then we can rattle off a couple of top 25 victories. This is a team now at 10-10. They have West Virginia tomorrow in Morgantown. That's not favorable. There's a couple of tough games on the back half in February. This is probably a team that will be playing at that noon to 1:30 tip in Kansas City against Utah, the only team they've beaten, which was by 3 too, and they gave up 80-plus points. I don't know how you could convince a donor, the fan base, for another year. And I wouldn't want to hear, it's $18.5 million, and I know it's an expensive buyout here, but you're in a much worse state than you were 2 to 3 years ago. And this was supposed to be a team that got him back on track. P.J. Haggerty was arguably the number 1, number 2 transfer guy out there, and he's scoring a bunch of points out there, but nobody else is doing enough to help him and get this team to on the bubble, and they're really not going to get close to the bubble now.
No, and you can make a real strong case if you're Kansas State that the guy took over with somebody else's players and went to the Elite Eight, and now he's had his players a number of years, and he hasn't figured out which players make a good team. How do you get the collection of players to turn them in to a basketball team? And he hasn't done that in 3 years.
Just Konzo Martin to me. I mean, it's opposite where Konzo was all defense, Tang's all offense. But this is just the same thing where you have a really nice first year and then nothing. What happens when you don't have Marquise Noel and Johnson? What happens when you don't have Michael Porter Jr.? Oh, you can't coach.
Yeah. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, and we'll talk with Field Yates from ESPN, NFL Insider. We'll get his thoughts on the Super Bowl matchup, the conference championship games. We will hear from Andy Reid coming up in the noon hour. He is having a Zoom press conference about Eric Bieniemy returning as offensive coordinator. We'll see if they will announce anybody else as part of the coaching staff, whether that be Chad O'Shea or what are they going to do with the running back coach. Joe Cullen interviewed for a defensive coordinator spot over the weekend. So a lot of things going on with the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk with Field Yates coming up next.
He'll help you fantasy focus while he scoops the news. He's on TV more often than he's in bed. He'll break down the NFL without a single hair ever out of place. It's Field Yates of ESPN. Now in the zone with Jason Anderson on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy heading up until 2 o'clock. An hour from now, we will hear from Andy Reid. Zoom press conference today. Eric Bieniemy returning as the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. It was this time last week when the news started breaking that Eric Bieniemy was the Chiefs were talking to Eric Bieniemy about being the OC, in which we knew that was going to be the end result. Joining us now, Field Yates from ESPN. And Field, everybody at the beginning of the season knew this was going to be the end result. Seahawks, Patriots in the Super Bowl. I mean, can we just have a little bit of a difference year in and year out? I mean, it's just the same old. It'd be nice if we get some variety in the NFL from time to time. I mean, geez.
Yeah, Jason, probably not the right place for this joke to land, but it's like, how do you think someone who doesn't live in New England or Kansas City feels? Every year it's the Patriots-Chiefs Invitational. The opponent is the part that we wait upon. So quite a win yesterday for New England. Obviously some very unusual weather circumstances there, and backup quarterback being in play. But I don't know, Jason, maybe this is just being too simplistic, or maybe it's me kind of trying to go against the grain. But, you got to win games, and ultimately, no matter how many points per game you average coming into the season, or what your opponent's quarterback situation looks like, you either win or you don't. I guess the Patriots are probably saying to themselves right now, yeah, we'll take the ugly wins over a pretty loss. So they're on to the Super Bowl, and the Seahawks, you and I did both pick them when the playoffs began. So this was a team that had the marks of a dominant force. And I thought they were going to let it slip out of their grasp yesterday. That consequential taunting penalty almost felt like it was one of those moments we look back for a long time in the history of sports. Ended up not being the case as they hold serve at home. And I think they're probably an understandable and justified favorite as the opening lines have been set for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's almost like, in the NCAA tournament, when a team gets to the Final Four, do you really go back and look at they beat this lower-seeded team and this other team got upset, and so they faced off against that team? Well, I don't know. What do you do when you get to the Final Four? Do you win it? Do you cut down the nets? I mean, not very often do we look back and go, wow, that was a really easy path, because, there's a local team that I pull for that I would love to have a really easy path to go to the Final Four, and they've never done that. It ain't easy to get to the Super Bowl no matter who you play against, and so this is not the Patriots really lucked into one here, because they had to go out and win those games. I came away watching the game, Field, and I'm like, the snow was aesthetically pleasing, but if I was whoever the losing team was, I might come away from that game being annoyed at saying, boy, that's how the game was sort of decided, was in those conditions. But that being the case, I do think a lot of people have a point in going for it or kicking the field goal to go up 10. I'm assuming Sean Payton was well versed on what the weather was going to be, the highs and lows of what the worst case, best case scenario can be, that at that point maybe you just try to get as many points as possible. But there also is that aggressive mindset to it. I don't know that kicking the field goal or not kicking the field goal was the difference in the game. It could have been, though. Once that snowstorm hit, I don't remember a game with that much consequence played in those extreme conditions.
Yeah, Jason, hear me out here for a second. First of all, as somebody who married a woman who grew up much of her childhood in Colorado and having spent a lot of time there, my default weather forecast for Colorado is anything. I dress for 3 seasons every single day. Doesn't matter if we're visiting her parents in July or in December. It's the same thing, right? You pack a parka and you pack shorts. Whether the forecast was calling for snow or not yesterday, you just bank on it being possible because of Denver.
Yeah.
Ironically, the team, I think I saw this somewhere before the game, had every regular season home game, I think, was like 60 or above and sunny. So it was a bit of a curveball relative to the norm established this season, but this is Colorado. You always have to be ready for anything. The game yesterday, to me, almost felt like a golf match, right, where there's 2 guys left in the tournament, and it's Patriots were, a couple holes up or a couple strokes up, and you just kind of play the game to the point where hey, we just have to stay at least one hole up and we win the game, right? And it felt like they were able to operate a little bit more in that mentality in the second half because of their lead, even if it were very narrow. And, we're going to have lots of conversations about taking the points versus going forward. And it's one of those that usually, Jason, what happens is if you take the points and you later in the game, you end up losing a close one. People they ask, should we have done this in the first place? Should you have gone for it? And then vice versa. When you don't take the points, you lose a close one, people say, there you go, could have hit the field goal. I think given the circumstances and given some of the things that we have seen recently, I was in favor of kicking a field goal at that juncture there for the Broncos. I just also didn't like the play call. The 4th and 1 play call, 4th and 2 basically. Like a little bootleg, and there's a one-man, basically one guy that you can throw the football to, and if he's covered up, then the play is kind of dead on arrival there. So, Mike Greenberg said this well this morning, that both teams that lost yesterday, I know that every conference championship game hurts, but I feel like the Rams and Broncos are in for very, very long off seasons because they both had remarkable runs to the championship game, and I think both of them felt like a couple of things here or there could have really turned the tides in those games yesterday.
We'll talk a lot more about the teams that are there. I wanted to get your thoughts on the teams that are not there now heading to the Super Bowl. Since you mentioned the Rams there, I want to start with that. If Matt Stafford were to return, then I feel like, the Rams can be back in this position again because they're well coached, they got good players, and Matt Stafford is still playing at a high level. Like if he were to walk away, he's going to walk away as a quarterback that is playing some awesome football still at this point. If Matt Stafford is not there, then what do you think the Rams do at the quarterback spot? And will we be seeing Sean McVay and the Rams anytime soon in this position if Matt Stafford walks away?
Maybe it's that they'll be back in the conference championship if Matthew Stafford is not around, but I don't think this is going to be a team that takes a dramatic step back because I do feel like they're gonna have a quarterback plan. They're gonna have awareness of Matthew's decision one way or the other. By the way, at this point, I'd be kind of stunned if he didn't return. You mentioned he's played well. I think he'll probably win MVP next Thursday night when they announce those awards. I don't know if they do this at the site of the Super Bowl or if they do it somewhere else, but I think he did play at the Super Bowl. So in Santa Clara, he was remarkable again yesterday. But I also think that the Rams, because they're a really, really good organization, strong, fundamentally sound, always thinking ahead, and of course they play in Los Angeles, where a lot of people will want to be, and a very quarterback-friendly offense. I do think they'll have a plan if Matthew Stafford. I think they'll have some options if Matthew Stafford decides to retire. That being said, there is. It just got to hurt, back-to-back conference championship games and falling short in each. I guess that last year was a divisional round against Philadelphia, but that was. It sort of felt like last year the NFC Championship game was the divisional round because the Eagles ended up beating the Commanders pretty decisively with a dominant second half. And then, yesterday, that one's got a sting. Now, they kind of got let back in the game by the Tariq Woolen taunting penalty. I think that game could have really become kind of a floodgates game for Seattle if that had not taken place. It was a 2-score game at that time, and Seattle was getting the football back and playing great defense. That being said, you get really close. The good side is that, you're giving yourself a chance every single year. The bad side is that these losses don't become any easier.
Yeah. Field Yates is our guest from ESPN. The Broncos side of it, and, Bo Nix goes down, and they have to do it with Jarrett Stidham, and, they had opportunities in the game early before the snowstorm hit, as we were talking about. A couple of years ago, we saw the Detroit Lions rise up and go to the NFC Championship game and have opportunities. And when they lost that one, it sort of felt like the consensus was, you know what?
This is the beginning.
Yep, they're going to be back here. They'll be back again, maybe next year, if not the next couple of years. The Lions, they've got their guy. They figured some things out, and that's a Super Bowl team, just a matter of time. And they got to the divisional round last year. They didn't make the playoffs this year. I think that's the concern. That is the part of the NFL that it's like you get an opportunity if you're the Broncos, you get there and you don't come through. It is so difficult to get back to that spot. The Patriots and the Chiefs, it is a rare thing, which is why we're talking about like the first time this happened with the Patriots, the first time we've seen this with the Chiefs is because getting back to that spot is not easy. I don't know if the Broncos get back or not. but I saw a little bit of the, hey, you know what, good team, good coach. They'll get Bo Nix back. They'll be back in the spot again. That's no guarantee, because we've said for a while, you know, Josh Allen's going to get one in Buffalo, and he's going to be 30 without one.
Yeah, I hear you all the way around there. Strongly agree, and I think that this is going to be a little bit reductive here, Jason, but I think it comes down to what level does Bo Nix have in him, right? I think that that there are plenty of good moments for Bo, including the AFC divisional round game, and that was terrific against Buffalo. He outplayed Josh Allen and played great when they needed him most in that game. On top of that, there's been plenty of moments throughout the first 2 years. Still feels to me, and I could be in the minority here, I think I'm probably closer to sort of average opinion amongst football observers, is I think there's probably a gap between Bo and the 3 quarterbacks taken 1, 2, 3 in the 2024 draft class in terms of just like sheer natural talent and ceiling-raising ability. Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, however you want to rank them, but obviously May is, and I know that Drake May has not been the reason the Patriots have won these past 3 games. He has had pedestrian stat lines. He's been, I would say, solid in key moments for them, but has not been dominating. It's been the defense that has been the dominant story for the Patriots in these 3 games. But I feel like there's a slightly different level to Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Jaden Daniels games than Bo. And the reason why that's so important is because it's an older roster. This is not some team that's just like, hey, they crushed back-to-back drafts. And those are the guys that are featured, on this roster, right? You think about some of the players on this team, and they're on their 2nd or 3rd contracts. Garrett Bowles, who came out late, by the way, he's an older player when he was drafted. He's in his early 30s now. And Zach Allen on the defensive line. And you've got Mike McGlinchey on the offensive line. You've got Cortland Sutton, guys who are not, 23, 24 years old, right? There certainly are ascendant players on this Broncos team. I am not disputing that by any stretch. They've got a ton of defensive talent. No two ways about that. It did feel like a situation where I don't know that the AFC West is right now designed to have a team dominate the way that Denver did this year because of the overall strength of it, right? Yeah. You got 3 teams that I think we believe going into next year will be considering themselves strong playoff contenders. Yep. That's not usually a mix for somebody to emerge as a 14-3 squad and have the first seed in the AFC. So, they're not a house of cards. I don't expect them to go 7-10 next year, but I think it's fair in some ways to say this thing kind of did line up really well for Denver, and they couldn't find their way out of it. I get it. It was their backup quarterback, but sometimes these things do happen, and you can't, as you mentioned, guarantee that somebody gets back there. And sometimes it might be might be a while. Field
Yates is our guest from ESPN. These are 2 coaches now that'll be taking their teams to the Super Bowl that are defensive, quote-unquote, defensive-minded coaches, Mike Macdonald and Mike Vrabel. And, the last defensive-minded coach to win a Super Bowl, go to the Super Bowl, was Bill Belichick. But not named Bill Belichick, the last defensive, first coach to even go was Dan Quinn with the Atlanta Falcons. And the last one to win a Super Bowl, not named Bill Belichick, was Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So is this field, is this one of those where, okay, we had that year to where Mahomes and the Chiefs were down, Josh Allen's defense was, not all that good, Burrow got hurt, Lamar and the Ravens had an odd year, and, we see what happens in the NFC part of it, and we get a couple of defensive guys, or is this maybe, the NFL that had been so offense, that we're seeing the pendulum swing to getting under center, trying to run the football a little bit more, so maybe some defensive teams are gaining an advantage. Is this something that we'll see more and more moving forward? Not that it's going to be all defensive coaches, but also not the drought that we saw from defensive coaches going to the Super Bowl or winning the Super Bowl, not named Bill Belichick for a long time.
I still think we're going to see much more of the league skewed towards the offensive coaches as far as hirings are concerned. Mm-hmm. Can things like this year happen? Of course they can. They surely can. But I do think that what we're going to see is, teams continuing to get into the offensive side of the ball. And if you have more offensive than defensive coaches, the likelihood of a coach being an offensive guy and going to the Super Bowl is just by mathematics higher, right? McDonald is, so I think it's funny because without question, Mike Vrabel is a defensive guy. He played linebacker in the NFL. Everybody knows all that. It almost feels to me like Mike Vrabel's identity as a head coach is definitely defense. I'd argue, though, he's on the short list, if not the best game manager in the NFL at head coach right now. I mean, his clock management skills are terrific. His challenge usage has always been top notch as well. This is a play that's kind of a footnote here yesterday because it was not the most consequential one. But I remember seeing a play late in the fourth quarter yesterday, prior to the 2-minute warning. Patriots are still winning that game, obviously, and the Broncos, for whatever reason, have like a little bit of a late sub.
Yes.
And Vrabel immediately implores his defensive tackles to like snail pace off the field, right? And the Broncos ended up snapping the ball because the ref will stand over the football until the defensive personnel is fully subbed off. The Broncos had like literally 4 seconds to snap it, and in that when they were not playing with like elite pace at that point.
That was the interception.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
exactly.
that was the interception.
So we should talk about that more and more. Mike Macdonald, outstanding defensive coach. Mike Vrabel, excellent, outstanding defensive coach as well. It does feel like Vrabel, and this I think is one of the reasons why this team, who I think is less talented than Seattle, has advanced as far as, man, it just feels like he is in complete control of the game. I mean, the play that they ended up overturning, the Jarrett Stidham fumble, Vrabel was on that right away. He's going down there like, what are we doing here, right? That's a clear backwards pass. And, obviously the refs, noted they did not officiate that play properly, but still, Vrabel is routinely all over these things. I think he is excellent in that regard.
We'll ask you again next week, but for the time being now, on January 26th, who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll change between now and next week. I think Seattle gets it done. Defensively, they are, the Patriots have faced really good defenses in the playoffs so far. I think Seattle is right there in that same tier. I don't know, maybe I'd be curious if your quick snapshot. Do you agree with me that Houston was clearly the best defense by the end of the season?
Yep.
Like, I'm sitting here watching all these guys, and they're all great, but it felt like Houston was playing at a different level.
Yeah.
But the Patriots are facing, it's not the best defense, one of the 3 or 4 best defenses in the NFL for the 4th straight week. But I think the Seahawks roster is just more complementary than the teams that they have played up to this point. So I think Seattle finds a way to win this game. Great, sort of rivalry with great stakes here between these two teams. And just the NFL finds a way every year. It's like we get the Super Bowl, there's drama, there's storylines. The NFL stays winning. So it should be a good one out there in Santa Clara. Familiar face, obviously, for Seattle to play a lot of football games.
No doubt.
Familiar spot, I should say.
Yeah, for sure. Field Yates from ESPN joining us. Field, we'll talk next week there in Santa Clara. Thank you, as always, for the time, brother. Enjoy the week, and looking forward to next week, brother.
Yeah, hopefully by then there's not 20 inches of snow on my driveway. I big morning this morning, clearing it all out.
Did you just shovel one time, or were you shoveling periodically over the couple days?
I've got young enough children where naps still happen. Well, for one of them it's every day. For the other one it's sometimes.
Yeah.
And we had a double nap going on yesterday, so I did. It was about an hour before kickoff, and of the AFC game, and I went and got a quick sweep. Took about 6 inches off, and then this morning I had another 1.5 or maybe 12, 14 inches to work with. So it was quite a process out here, Jason. I'm a little sore. I should not admit just how sore I am, but that's 38 hitting you hard right there.
Yeah, no doubt. We didn't have that much to clear off, but still a little sore the next day. Field, you're the man. Appreciate it, brother, as always, man.
Talk to you next week.
Absolutely. There's Field Yates from ESPN. Shoveling everybody going through that the last couple of days. I just waited for the one. There have been times where I've shoveled in the middle of it, where it's like, man, we're going to get this crazy snowmageddon. I'm like, I'm just going to wait. Going to wait for the one. Do it on Sunday, and get done before the championship games. Shower, and then have the excuse to I'm just going to rest the rest of the day. Just tired from all the shoveling, so I'm just going to lay here and I'm just not moving. It's perfect. Got the reason to do it. It's just all that shoveling. Are you kidding me? We'll take a time out, come back, continue rolling, wrapping up this hour. We'll hear from Andy Reid in the noon hour. Mick Schaefer will join us in the 1 o'clock hour. Learn funniest best. More Zone coming up next.
You're in the zone with Jason Anderson on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Dry January doesn't have to to be dull, especially at Greenlight. This month, we're keeping Kansas City lifted with special deals on 8s of flour, gummies, and vaporizers all month long. Whether you're taking a break, resetting, or just skipping the hangovers, Greenlight's the perfect companion for your dry January. Visit any of our 5 KC locations: State Line, Bannister, Independence, Harrisonville, or Ward Parkway. With prices this good, you might start rethinking your resolutions. After spending dry January with us, you may never go back. The best cannabis deals always at greenlightdispensary.com.
You'd love new windows, but you don't want to pay a fortune for them. Well, during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows Free sale, you could also get 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. Hurry, sale ends soon, so schedule your free estimate now at windownation.com.
Roberts Robinson Chevrolet and GMC in Excelsior Springs has the trucks, and I'm here to report that you can stop looking for that new vehicle because Roberts Robinson has it. Roberts Robinson has tons of vehicles on their lot ready to go out the door today. Roberts Robinson Chevrolet and GMC in Excelsior Springs. Go online to robertsrobinson.com.
Sports Radio 810 WHB, your home for the National Football League.
The Chiefs another trip to the Super Bowl.
Major League Baseball playoffs and World Series.
The Dodgers win back-to-back titles.
College football playoffs and national championships.
Jamari Sharp makes the pick that will clinch Indiana's first national championship.
NBA playoffs and finals.
The NBA champion resides in Oklahoma City.
Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Red Door Wood-Fired Grill is the place to celebrate every game this season. Kick off your week with $6 Burger Monday. On Thursdays, tackle jalapeno fried chicken night, and Sundays, fuel up with brunch, feast on prime rib, and toast every touchdown with their half-price bottles of wine. Add in fresh new cocktails and mocktails like Red Kingdom, and you've got the ultimate playbook for game day flavor. Visit any of the 6 KC locations all season long in Brookside, Lee Summit, Lenexa, Leawood, Liberty, and Overland Park.
Start the year moving, not hurting. If joint pain is holding you back, listen up. There's a way to get real relief without surgery, without downtime, and without putting your life on pause. QC Kinetics delivers regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. January is supposed to be your clean slate, so make it one. Stop managing the pain and start solving it with QC Kinetics. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics.
Family Leisure's After Christmas clearance sale is here. Family Leisure has the best prices of the year on closeout, scratch and dent, and overstock products, and bonus deals for you if you mention 810. Pool tables, foosball, air hockey, bars and bar stools reduced by up to 70%. Hot tubs, tanning beds, and home theater seating at their best prices. Family Leisure has the best products, best selection, and best prices guaranteed. Take advantage of the special 810 deals while they last. Family Leisure, K10 and Ridgeview in Olathe.
Awesome.
Thank you to Field Yates joining us from ESPN. Yeah, I'm with him, but I don't think it'll change either. Picking the Seahawks as of right now, and next week when we get into official predictions and things like that, I doubt it'll change that I think the Seahawks are going to win. I just, along the way, like when last week heading into it when the Seahawks were like plus 270 to win the Super Bowl, that's when I should have place the money. I'm not going to do it now because the value being there, but even at halftime of the Rams and Seahawks game, it was still the Seahawks plus 100. At the end of the game, it was still the Seahawks plus, money to win the Super Bowl, because they had to win that game first. But now you're not getting that just to have them come out on top and win the game. But, I think the Patriots have a real uphill climb, but they also were able to put 21 points offensively on the board against the Houston Texans, which have a better defense than the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm with the Seahawks now, but I'm trying not to talk myself into this because I don't want to talk myself into it. But it feels like everyone's going with the Seahawks, which makes me question. All right, what? Maybe it's a smart thing and everyone's smart, but people aren't smart. Like, I don't want to be on the side of everyone.
That's why I went Broncos plus the points yesterday before the game.
And that worked for you because I didn't know the snowstorm was going to just
I didn't either.
Do that.
Neither did Sean Payton.
But I guess for me, the New England Patriots, I don't want people to just think, oh, they put up 10 points against Denver. They can't score. No. I know Drake May's had a bad playoffs. He's had a bad playoffs. I don't argue that. Maybe the lights are too bright. but they keep winning. That defense is really, really good. And Mike Vrabel's a hell of a head coach. We've seen Drake May make a lot of really good plays. There's a reason why he's top 3 in the MVP this year. There's a reason why. Now, has not looked like that in the playoffs. I get that. But if he figures it out and calms down, now are you going to calm down in a Super Bowl? We'll see. Yeah. Like, I think he's more talented than Sam Darnold by not a wide, crazy margin, but I think he's a better quarterback than Sam Darnold, all things being considered. I think defensively, the two teams are fairly equal. It just comes down to who's going to be calm in these moments. Because Sam Darnold in the past had not been calm. That was the knock on him.
Yeah.
Well, he was sure calm against this Rams team. Now, the Rams don't have a great defense, but he didn't put up a lot of points. And he made no mistakes.
Yeah, he was really good. And one of the reasons why, I mean, I think a lot of people were picking the Rams to win that game because of Sam Darnold and Matt Stafford. It's like, I don't trust. That was me. Yeah, I don't trust Sam Darnold in that situation. And I like the Seahawks all along. And you know, the Rams game being the one that worried me the most just because they had already played twice. And it came down to the last couple of plays in both of those games in one-score games. So you knew it was going to be another close one. And Sam Darnold was going to have to play well.
Yes.
And he did. I mean, he was letting it fly. And an improbable career arc for Sam Darnold from multiple teams. Obviously, the first one that you were with giving up on you.
Yeah.
Multiple teams having you as a backup. Signed with the Vikings as a backup. McCarthy gets injured. You go out there and play phenomenal football. The Seahawks have a choice between Geno Smith and you. They choose you, and now you're going to the Super Bowl.
Who feels worse right now, Tennessee for moving on from Vrabel or Minnesota moving on from Sam Darnold?
I think it's got to be Minnesota and Sam Darnold. Well, I don't know. I think it's Vrabel. I think it's Vrabel and the Titans. Or is it Minnesota? I think it's Vrabel.
Fellas, the new year is here, and improving your health is probably high on your list. But when you are tired all the time, not sleeping well, struggling in the gym, or dealing with brain fog, staying motivated can feel impossible. Those symptoms may not just be aging. They could be signs of low testosterone. Low T affects more men than you think. Starting in your 30s, testosterone levels decline every year, and it happens so gradually that you may not realize why you don't feel like the same man you once were. Heartland Men's Health specializes in diagnosing and treating low T and has helped many men reclaim their energy, focus, strength, and sex drive. Within weeks, many men feel sharper.
All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. We head up until 2 o'clock. We'll hear from Andy Reid coming up later on this hour. Mick Schaefer at 1 o'clock, KSHB 41 Sports Director. We got Learn Funniest Best before the show is over as well. Talk some college basketball in the previous hour, a lot of NFL in the first hour with the Broncos and Rams losing.
I will say the Chargers officially tab Mike McDaniel as their OC.
Okay.
So that means he will not be the Bills' head coach.
Yeah.
Philip Rivers withdraws his name from the search, and it looks like, what's it, Udinsky?
Udinsky.
Grant Udinsky withdraws from Browns search, eyes the Bills' head coaching job.
Okay.
He is the Jags OC. So apparently, Jags OC, if he does not get the Bills' job, obviously there, but pulling his name from Cleveland.
Okay.
So Cleveland not good either, by the way, because Cleveland can't find any. Who's going to end up coaching them? It might be a fan. They might just go around and say,
I'll
all
put
right,
my name in the hat.
Section 108.
I'll put my name in the
Row
hat.
12, seat 3.
That's me. That's mine. I got the raffle ticket. That's me. You get to run down and coach the team. I'll do it. If they're that desperate to find somebody, I have no problem.
It's going to end up being like
that.
Deion Sanders, isn't it?
It might just
Honestly,
because of
if you're the Browns, just do
theater.
it. If you're the Browns, just do it.
It's just the drama of the whole thing, man. I mean, just do it for the theater.
The entire NFL basically said, hey, we think Kevin Stefanski is a good head coach. Like, I mean, think of that.
That's true.
Because right away, it was like, yeah, Stefanski, good head coach. He's getting the job. He can go where he wants. He's a great mind. Like, everyone has basically been in the NFL like, Stefanski's great. It's the Browns. So at that point, if Stefanski can't do it with the Browns, it's a you thing. Just go all in. Just be a sideshow. Have Deion. Have Shedeur be your quarterback. What's the worst that happens? You have this year? Maybe things go well.
Got to sell tickets somehow.
Got to sell them.
I just, all these different people taking their name out of the running. Like, you're going to have to get some younger guy. Like, maybe it's Shieldhouse.
Dude,
maybe they go and throw stupid money at him, and it's like, you know what? Take the job, be the offensive wonderkin, and come in and take over and take us to the promised land. But, like, who's taking that job?
Dude, there are
nobody
32 of these jobs in the world.
Yeah.
And there are people who say, I don't want one of those 32 jobs because it's you.
Yeah. 913-912-4810 is the text line. We talked some college basketball as well. We'll hear from Andy Reid coming up in the next segment. I mean, I do want to play this. This is going to be my funniest as well, but I don't care that it's going to be my funniest because, dang it, it deserves to get as much love as possible here. This is an early entry to the bracket of sound. Sterling, did you hear the fight that took place in a high school basketball game in eastern Kentucky?
No.
In Appalachia.
Oh, okay.
Eastern Kentucky. We're watching this clip go all over the internet, and my wife's like, oh, no. She's like, please don't of course it's Kentucky. Of course, it's Kentucky. But it's eastern Kentucky, so it's different. This is my funniest for next hour, but I don't care. We're playing it now. This is clip number 3. If you can, Michael. This is a high school basketball game towards the end, and a fight breaks out between a couple of the players, and then the fans spill out onto the floor, and this is what the live stream sounded like.
James, this go get Justin.
And here we go.
Let's get out of here.
Let's get the ball game.
Hey.
Look here. This ball game's got to get over.
Yeah, let's go. This game's over.
Here comes the best part.
No sense doing this. We'll get somebody hurt bad. This game's over.
Yeah, you can't get this.
This game's over.
And they just tell you dry. This ball game is over. Yeah, we're going to end our live feed. This game has got to come to an end.
That part, and they just tased Ryan as if like That's sort of known. Like
Yeah,
up there it
that's
is.
Ryan.
They just tased Ryan. Let's go ahead and get out of here.
Well, you
All right.
have to tase Ryan.
This ball game is over. They just tased Ryan. And you can hear it in the background, like the click, zzz, it just collapses.
It is sad and amazing at the same time. You know, I have a lot of family in Southern Indiana, so I just imagine that this is. By the way, this is our family reunion. By the way, this is the family reunion in Southern Indiana. We play basketball. We don't have the tasers, but it's very physical, and it's the same thing. It's just. Ball game turns into this ain't a ball. You got to end the ball game.
Somebody's gonna get hurt. They just tased Ryan.
This game is over.
And they just tased Ryan.
You hear the click and the zzz. Play the beginning part. Could you hear the click? Zzz.
This game is over.
And they just tased Ryan.
This is my reunion. Southern, they just tased James.
Oh,
We got to tase James. He's 6'10".
Just love that everybody sort of knows. Up there's Ryan. He just got tased again. I told you.
Like it's a normal occurrence.
Ryan, I told you you're gonna get that. Yep, they just tased Ryan.
This game is over.
And they just tased Ryan.
I listened to this before the show. I could not understand what he said. I was like, what did he do?
They just tased Ryan.
Tased Ryan.
You don't understand. This is the
And they just tased Ryan.
See, you don't understand the southern kind of that area.
Oh, that draw.
You don't have the last two words of any word on there. You just tase
Two
Rye.
letters.
It's just Rye. But you know it's
Just
Ryan.
tased
It's
Ryan.
Rye.
They just tased Ryan.
This game is over.
And they just tased Ryan.
See, you don't add the last two letters. You just Rye. Jason.
The visual also is the police officer. It's a pretty hefty police officer.
Sturdy.
He's very sturdy. Yes, sort of Billy Bob in Varsity Blues.
Okay, so he's not getting knocked over by a sturdy wind.
Yeah, and Ron is losing his mind and being held back, and this sturdy, whether security guard or police officer, just as Ryan's sort of going crazy, he just takes out the taser, not even moving, holds it with his left hand and just click. Security guard doesn't, police officer doesn't even move.
This game is over.
And they just tased Ryan.
Incredible.
Oh my God! I watched that.
Who won?
I have no idea. Ryan didn't. Ryan definitely lost. I know that. The taser won. That's who won in that particular game. And I think what ended up happening was like Ryan's wife was out there trying to help out and get things figured out. And a guy.
Ryan was not a student?
No, Ryan was a dad. Oh, it'd be better if Ryan was a student, but
I thought it was a kid that just got this one. That makes it.
Ryan's the
that
Ryan's
makes
the
it
dad.
so much better.
Ryan's
that
a dad. Ryan's a dad. They just tased. It would be funny if it's like, they just tased Ryan and he's sitting there in his jersey.
And they just tased Ryan.
Well, no, it makes us better because the announcers know that dad.
It's Ryan.
It's Ryan.
There's Ryan. There's Ryan out there.
It's like South Park. It's like the dads, they get too drunk at their kid's Little League game and start fights.
Come on, Jesse.
I'm sorry. This is America.
Ryan goes out there because I think Ryan's wife is out there, and another gentleman, maybe not, I don't know, from the other team, is starting to yell at her in her face, and she does something. He slaps her hands down, and then Ryan came out.
Comes out.
Ryan couldn't be held back to the point the other guy was being pushed away, and it was separated, and Ryan wouldn't stop. I mean, until he couldn't move anymore.
This game is over.
And they just tased Ryan.
That's top tier.
It's going to be one of the top seeds in the bracket of sound that comes out in March. I mean, it's just so brilliant. And it's the end of the game. It's like the live stream. It's a live stream. You get what you get. And then the live stream just disappears. We gotta stop this game. This game is over. All right, they just tased Ryan. This game is over. Come on, now we're gonna get somebody seriously hurt. Click. Zzz. They just tased Ryan. Somebody got hurt. We need to be at more of those games.
I would like to announce those games.
Yeah, we should have done some more play-by-play by the announcer there of what was taking place on the floor.
Can we talk about how quickly he got tased? Like they must have
That is
known.
true. Play the whole thing from the beginning. That's a good.
Yeah,
that's a
about
good point.
20 seconds in,
Because you see, it's in front of you. How long it is from the beginning of that clip to tasing Ryan. It's like what, 30 seconds?
James, this go get Justin.
Go get Justin. Go get Justin. Not Ryan. Go get Justin.
And here we go.
Here we go.
Let's get out of here.
Let's get the ball game.
Hey,
Let's get out of here.
in his voice.
Let's get out of here.
Look here.
Look here.
This ball game's got to get over.
Whistling.
yeah, let's go. This game's over. No sense doing this. We'll get somebody
No sense doing this.
This game's over.
No sense doing this.
You can't get this.
This game's over.
And they just tased Ryan.
31 seconds.
This ball game is over.
This ball game is over. They just tased Ryan. Game over.
Yeah, we're going to end our live feed. This game has got to come to an end.
And then it just disappears.
This was middle school,
and
by
then
the way.
Was it a middle school?
Middle school. I'm
Even
looking
better.
I looked it up. I just typed in, they just tased Ryan, and it went to this.
But they just tased Ryan is now just, moving forward.
What
It's
does
just-
Ryan look like?
Ryan's a hefty man himself. There were a few individuals trying to hold Ryan back.
All right, so here we go. Thursday night, Emelina and Car Creek Elementaries squared off in the A-Team championships at Knott County Central High School. It was 48-30. It wasn't even a close game.
Yeah, it started with a couple of the players. Like they were wrestling, and then it pops under the screen that, one's taken down to the ground. And then, of course, dads of the players come out on the floor, and then both sides, and then you got fans going back and forth, and the refs are trying to...
I'm looking at it now. So it looks like it should have been stopped. It was done.
Yeah, right.
Pretty quick.
Done. But then Ryan comes out there, and Ryan can't be held back.
Yeah, that's
and
kind of
so
what it is. The fight stopped.
Yeah. But then the security guard, the police officer, just standing there, just click. Zzz.
Yeah.
He's just it's as nonchalant of a tase as I've ever seen. It's almost as if the security guard or the police officer was like, "Here we go again, Ryan.
Yep, right.
Ryan, I'm gonna tase you again. All right, just as nonchalant." Not even like holding the taser out straight.
Yeah.
Just like
it was like at his side.
Right at his side. He's like a 6-shooter. You know what I mean? It was like a quick draw, and he just took it.
And that somewhat stopped it right away.
Oh yeah, because he got tased.
He got tased.
What
Don't
it looks
tase
like
me,
when
bro.
somebody.
And they just tased Ryan.
Whew.
I'm so confused how there was an officer on standby at this middle school championship basketball game.
As you would typically have, just in case.
Clearly.
Just in case that happens.
And then in 30 seconds, Ryan got tased.
31. That is such a good point,
I
Michael.
love it.
That from the beginning altercation to Ryan being tased was 31 seconds. That is somebody that the officer knew, this man's not going to stop until he gets tased. Ryan, typically I would wait a minute and a half, maybe 120 seconds. But with Ryan, I know that this 30 seconds is going to turn out to be 3. He's not going to stop until he gets tased. It's Ryan.
This is
Tase Ryan.
It's a little difficult. It's recorded on an iPhone 3, and so it makes it a little difficult to it's definitely not HD. This thing is the most 1994 standard def you've seen. So it's a little difficult, but it looks like a kid gets pushed over.
Yeah. Two kids are wrestling.
And 2 kids are kind of wrestling. It's wrestling down there.
And they're like, go on, get. Go
So
get.
they're doing a little wrestling. And then it gets broken up. Looks like the coaches come out and separate them. So it looks like, all right, hey, kids, that's enough of a tussle.
Yeah.
Let's just clear out.
Right.
We're okay. And then Ryan looks like
Stop with
and
the
some
running them up and
dads
carrying on.
just start running down. Like, now's our time to shine.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so this fight's broken up. The kids are fine. Now let's.
Yeah.
This is our excuse, though. I got a pint of bourbon in me. I need to get this energy out somewhere.
What this game means.
And then somebody puts his hands on his wife's hands, and then at that point,
You don't touch another wife's hands.
You don't mess with Ryan. You don't mess with Ryan.
And they just tased Ryan.
Oh man! All right, we'll take a
Is there an
time out.
update on Ryan? Do you think Ryan's okay?
Look, you think that's the first time Ryan's been tased?
They just tased Ryan.
You think that's the first time Ryan's been tased?
If I put up, they just like JU, it automatically goes to they just tased Ryan.
Yes.
It is amazing.
Yes. They just
We gotta
tased
book him on the
Ryan.
show. We gotta get him on the show.
Find Ryan. Find Ryan.
We'll find
Darcy.
us.
Find Ryan.
Oh, my God, man. Somebody's going to get seriously hurt here. All right? This game is over. I don't know, like at the beginning, were they calling for like go get like the security or go get like the guy out there that's about to, make this thing into a brawl?
Ryan was definitely not a first-time offender.
No. Ryan's been out. Who did they ask to go get like at the beginning of the entire clip?
James, this. Go get Justin.
Go get Justin. Go get Justin. I want to know who Justin is and why.
And here we go.
There we go.
Let's get out of here.
Yep.
Let's get the ball game.
There he is. Ryan's out there. Here we go. Let's get out of here. Ryan's here.
This ball game's got
They
to
were
get
so
over.
scared they said, we got to get out of here.
Ryan's here. Get the hell out.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
It's over. Ain't no sense doing this. We'll get somebody hurt.
I ain't no sense doing this.
Yeah, you can't get this.
This game is over.
And they just tased Ryan.
Dang it.
This ball game is
They're
over.
just like, they knew early. It was 30 seconds into it. Ryan got tased. 30 seconds into it. They knew what was about to happen.
Did you hear the cheering after they tased Ryan?
No, I didn't. Play that again. This is like an artwork. Every time you look at it, you see another little piece of like, ooh, that fleck up there was it.
Yeah, you can't get this.
This game is over.
And they just tased Ryan. This ball game is over.
Take that, Ryan!
And there's a deep drive in the left field by Castellanos, and they just tased Ryan.
They just tased Ryan. Or like maybe they're cheering Ryan because it's like, yeah, Ryan got tased again. Everybody, this is what he does. This is what he does. Ryan's out here to get tased.
Like, can I get tased at a middle school basketball game?
Like in some basketball games, like if you miss 2 free throws, everybody gets like Chick-fil-A or something.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Ryan gets tased. Everybody gets free admission to the next middle school game. It's got to be what it is. Hey,
$20, you won't get tased this game. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get tased.
I want to learn about Ryan. I really do.
Huh?
Because they knew when Ryan hit here we go. He said, here we go. There he is. Here we go, guys.
It's like a WWE bit is his thing is he just gets tased.
Because they just tased Ryan. It was like just nonchalant. Yep, there you go. They just tased Ryan. Here we go. But
I
he
feel
knew
bad for his kid. I'll say that.
Do you think this is the first time his kids had to deal with his dad being tased? I bet that's a badge of honor for that fella.
Hey, my dad's been tased more
Ryan's
than your
my
dad.
dad.
And here we go.
Here we go. There, Ryan. Ryan's on the floor. Here we go. It's out of control now. If you'd have gone and got Justin, like I told you to, go get Justin. All right? Because Justin's going to be here, and he's going to make sure this thing is fine. Go get Justin. Well, too late. Ryan's on the floor.
It's like Malice at the middle school palace.
Oh, man.
And Justin's
Go
run
get
our
Justin.
test.
Go get Justin. I need to know who Justin is, and I need to know more about Ryan as to what his background is and how many times this man has been tased. I just want to know how many times.
And they just tased Ryan.
He's just so nonchalant, right?
Just tased him.
They just tased. There he is. They just tased Ryan. All right, we got to get out of here, man. Plus, the guy was like, "We got to go. We got to get out of here." Yeah, Ryan's on the floor. Ryan's on the floor.
One guy was
get
very calm. One guy's like, "It's going to be okay. They're just going to tase Ryan, and we're going to get out of here. We'll be." And the other guy's like, "I've never seen this before.
No.
This is a big deal."
Or he has seen that. I know what Ryan's going to do. We got to get the hell out of here. All right, this guy is a bull in a china shop. This is a guy. He is not going to be stopped. Well, I just tased him. There you go. Tased Ryan. 30 seconds into it. The fight starts 30 seconds later. Ryan gets tased. That man is no stranger to being tased.
Yeah.
And that officer is no stranger to Ryan. He knew. If that was his first time being around Ryan, he might have been like, all right, calm down. But nobody's going to calm this guy down. It's Ryan. And Justin ain't around.
Is Justin like his brother?
Old boy over there didn't go and get Justin.
But Justin may have been the cop. Could be. Like, go get Justin. Let him know.
Go get
the bailiff, maybe.
Old boy Justin didn't make it there in time.
Maybe he's the sheriff. Go get Justin.
All right. Let's just
And they just tased Ryan.
Go get Justin. I want to know. We need Justin on the show, and we need Ryan on the show. And Ryan's kid, because I think Ryan's kid's like, yeah, that's my dad. You don't want to mess with me. My dad's Ryan. All right.
My dad can get tased better than your dad.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, he can prove it there. Just love he just falls over just like a tree. Just a tree cut down. No movement. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll hear from, at some point this hour, Andy Reid, who is having a Zoom press conference about Eric Bieniemy returning to the Kansas City Chiefs as the offensive coordinator.
This game is over.
And they just tased Ryan.
All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Let's hear from Andy Reid. We'll hear from Mick Schaefer coming up at 1 o'clock One of those guys is the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. The other one is the sports director at KSHB 41. You can decide which is which. But let's hear from Andy Reid. He had his Zoom press conference today as Eric Bieniemy returning to the Kansas City Chiefs. Here is Andy's opening statement.
Listen, we're excited to announce that Eric Bieniemy's coming back to us. We put that out a couple days ago, I believe. So I think this isn't new news, but it's good to get him back in the building. And I think we all know how the energy that Eric brings and what he gives to a football team. So, and he's coming off a heck of a season with the Chicago Bears. My hat goes off to the Bears and the great job that they did there. And then on the other hand, we had another great coordinator here too with Matt Nagy, and this gives Matt an opportunity to go out and run his show there and do what he does best, taking 2 Super Bowl championships with him and 3 Super Bowl appearances. So he'll and a top 10 offense that he was working with this past year. So he'll go out and be able to put his own mark on things, and that takes my name off of it, and he gets the purity of it. I was hoping that it would be a head coaching position. It still might be that. He deserves that for definitely for sure. And if that doesn't work, it gives him an opportunity to step in as a coordinator and run a show from there. So it's a win-win, I think, on both sides for both coaches. And again, we're glad that EB was able to come back in and jump in that position and bring all the knowledge that he has likewise to the table. So with that, time's yours.
Let's start with Sam McDowell.
Hey, Andy, and Sid, I'll have a couple things. But first, those of us who are at training camp every day, can certainly see the impression that EB leaves out there on the players and on the field. But in what ways did you notice that you needed that back?
Yeah, well, I thought Matt brought great energy too with his. It's different. It's a different. They both have their own personalities that they share with it, and EB does. He's gonna be very direct with the players, very direct with the coaches, and it's a different flavor. Both have been very productive in this system here, so I think it's a win-win for us that way. But EB brings there's nobody like EB on the field that way. That's one of his, and with the players, he does a great job there.
Obviously, when you've got an opening, you could go several different ways with it, and you choose to go with EB. Just wondered if you interviewed anyone from the outside and kind of what your thought process was on prioritizing what EB brings versus maybe what somebody else might have brought.
No, I did talk to him. Yeah, EB was in the playoffs, so I wasn't able to talk to him until after he was done there. So, but had to make a move fast. There are a lot of openings here, Sam. And so, if one guy's going one direction, you got to make sure that you can fill that position and do it as quickly as you possibly can. So, at the same time, was still being able to talk to others. So, to answer your question, yes, I did talk to other people.
They don't have to reveal who they talked to. I don't know how many people they talked to or who those people were that he talked to other people. Might have just been Kafka and Blameyer. I'm not sure. But he did say there that you have to make a move fast, a lot of openings. And I think that's why we saw some of the moves that are made. We still don't know what's going to be the case with the running back coach. Jesse Newell then asked Andy Reid what excites him about the Eric Bieniemy hiring.
Well, listen, I'm fired up to get in this offseason and get going. We didn't do very well this past year, and that's not been our MO there. So I want to fix a problem, and let's the problems that we had and in all phases. This isn't just an offensive, in all phases. We've had some guys that have some guys. There'll be people that move on. There'll be people that come in, players, and a couple of quality control guys left, and a couple other guys left, and so we'll cover all that down the road here. But it's Change can be good sometimes for you, and so that's what I'm fired up about.
And what do you think EB is specifically going to do for Patrick at this point in his career?
Yeah, I mean, he brings it. Patrick knows him, first of all, Jesse, and then I tell you, EB will be very direct with him, like he does with everybody, but he knows it's coming from a place of knowledge there that he knows. And Patrick, you guys could take this whole thing a couple different ways, so I want to make sure we're saying this right. Patrick loved Nags, and he also loves EB. So this isn't either or deal. It's one guy having to replace another guy and that's not what this is about. But I want to make sure Nags gets his shout out here too, and that EB gets his for coming in here.
So there you go. Making sure that, hey, we didn't fire Nagy. This is what we're doing has zero to do with Matt Nagy. It has nothing, any issues that happened with this team had zero to do with Matt Nagy. Okay, well, maybe not. We'll find out. Vahe continued with the questioning, asked Andy Reid about the process of making this choice to bring back EB and let Nagy leave.
Yeah, so I know both guys and know them well. I mean, I've worked with them hand in hand, won championships with them. And so here's Nags in a position where he's got an opportunity here potentially to move on and great things happen for he and his family and everything else. So I'm on one side of that. I'm pushing that. I'm saying, let's go, man, do your thing. And on the other side, I've got to sit there and go, who's going to replace this guy that just came off of winning a couple championships and going to 3 Super Bowls? So, EB becomes an obvious guy that you'd want to talk to, I would think, right, from a logical standpoint. So I think he's a great fit. He was a great fit when he was here. He'll be a great fit now that he's back. And I've had success with bringing guys back into the fold and things happening. And so as a unit, as an organization, and I think everybody's fired up to see that, listen, we're able to replace a great guy with another great guy. I've got great guys here. Joe Blameyer, there are very few guys that are as good as Joe Blameyer. I feel very confident in him in that offensive room. And, Spags and his crew are here. So there's just some, Andy Hex. I mean, these guys are all guys that are top notch, and then Brett's working the personnel side of it. So there's good continuity, there's good teamwork that goes on. I know everybody can function well together. That becomes important to me.
And I'm sorry, I've lost track of what's official and not official at this point, but it certainly.
Well, don't ask it if it's not official.
Luckily, you'll know. In general, it looks like there are a handful of other changes to the.
Yeah, I don't want to get into all that. We'll hit that another time. I don't want to take anything away from EB and him coming back here, because that I think is I think for everybody, for our fan base, for ownership, for the organization, I just think it's a positive thing. At the same time, I want Matt to have a chance to be a head football coach and do the things that he's dreaming of doing. I mean, that's huge in this business, and he's sitting at an important time that with some openings in this league that you very seldom see, where you've got these 10 at one time here, 10 different openings. I mean, that's there's opportunities there.
So far, what I'm taking away from the press conference is, can we hold a Zoom press conference, to talk about Eric Bieniemy returning, and also I can go out and tell everybody how great Matt Nagy is?
Yes.
I mean, can we do both? Is there a way that can we couch this? Can we release this as it's Eric Bieniemy is returning to the Chiefs as OC Zoom with Andy Reid, while not actually letting people know what the theme's going to be, is just how great Matt Nagy has been for this team and how good Matt Nagy is, and no reason Matt Nagy should not have a head coach. He should. Matt Nagy can go and run his own thing without, and make his own mark without my name being attached to it, so there's a purity of it. And make no mistake, Patrick loves Matt Nagy. Like, it's different. He loved what Eric Bieniemy did, and he loves Matt Nagy. What about other changes that are out there that may happen? I don't really want to get into the other changes. This is really about Eric Bieniemy, and I want to make sure that that's the case. But also Matt Nagy, I want him to go out and get his opportunity that's out there. Like, he asked about other changes to the coaching staff, and Andy Reid spun it back around to Matt Nagy.
Dude, I was cracking up, especially in regards to some of the other changes. Because, one, I think it's because Andy might not know everything that's official.
Yes.
Right? Like, he might not know what's completely official.
Let's stick with Eric Bieniemy.
He's like, I don't want to say something that's going to get tampering or get in trouble. Or I just found that really fun, because I think that was a little bit of the reason, too, is I don't want to get people in trouble because I don't know what's official and what's not. I might see him in here, but that still might not be public knowledge yet.
Yes, we already hired the man, but it may not be officially that we've hired the man for one reason or another. Not sure what that is.
Well, and I thought of this, but all the coaches he brought up, he said Spags and his crew, Andy Heck, Joe Blameyer.
Yeah.
Didn't hear Dave Tobe.
Oh, that's...
Didn't hear Tobe
that's
in
just
there.
assumed that he'll be there.
Yeah, I don't think that one's anything
No,
to
just
read
but when he
into.
was, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was interesting.
Pete Sweeney next up asked Andy when he knew Matt Nagy wouldn't be coming back and how important it would be for him to run his own show.
Yeah, if we left it that simple, that's what I would tell you. I mean, I know everybody's going to question everything, and I get all that. It's understandable. But Matt and I have a great relationship, and here he sits, and before the season, before the season even started here, I knew that he wanted an opportunity to have his own show. He's been a head coach. He was coach of the year. I mean, this guy, all the things I've said about him, I still feel about him. There's nothing different there. He deserves to have a head coaching job, and if not, it gives him an opportunity to go out and do his thing. I would have told you the same thing about EB when he did it. It gave him an opportunity to go out and do their thing. So there was no signage of rollovers and all that. He wanted to just keep it that way. Word gets out on that, and give him an opportunity. And I mean, somebody's missing a gym here. That's how I feel, and I would love to see him get picked up and going. And at the same time, we got back at Jim, so it's a win. It has a chance to be a win-win here when everything's said and done.
Go next to Todd Lebo.
Hey, Coach, Eric left and got to be in a couple of different places and, dip his toe in some other stuff. What sort of things do you think he learned while he was away that he can maybe help bring you to give you some kind of fresh ideas and stuff?
Yeah, everywhere you go in this business, you pick something up. And you might take it with you, or you might say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. So, and at the same time, he's got all those years in this system too, so he understands that. So I welcome that. I always keep my ears and eyes open for things, and that's why we're very seldom stagnant, and why even with our record, I felt where I could stand in front of you guys and go, listen, what worked for us the year before, it just flipped on us. The games we won the year before, they flipped on us this year, and we didn't win. And that's sometimes how this thing works. And so now it's making sure that we get back and correct some things, and then get them going in the right direction again. So, but at the same time, you finish and you're looking at being in the top 10 offensively. I mean, before Pat gets hurt, or even after the Dallas game, which didn't go our way. I mean, here's Mattson with a top 5 offense, in a lot of categories in the NFL. So I respect that part. This game, we're seeing it now when you look at the playoffs. I mean, these games are nip and tuck, baby. It's you miss a play here or there, and you're going to lose the game. And so all those games that were so tight for us this year, we have to fix and clean that up.
I hope that that is a, Eric Bieniemy comes in and Andy, saying I'm all ears, and I wouldn't, turn away from that. You pick things up along the way. Everybody does that in all these different places that you go to and stops that you make along the way. That hopefully that's the case with Eric Bieniemy being with Ben Johnson for a year. But again, it was, what did Eric Bieniemy learn while away? While talking about that, you weave back into, this was a top 10 offense. Even after that Dallas game, it didn't go our way, but Matt had a top offense. And hold on.
And by the way,
Matt?
He forgets both their names. We left a Jim and we're getting back a Jim. Their names Eric and Matt. Andy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're losing a Matt and getting back an Eric. That's true.
But that's weird because you said he was losing a Jim and getting back a Jim. I was surprised by that. I will say,
depending on how you spell it.
I don't love the fact that he said, everything that went right for us the year before, just everything went wrong this year, but it was the same offense. Yes, that's the issue, Andy.
Yeah.
It's been bad for 2 years. You got lucky. Variance went in your way 2 years ago, Andy. It didn't this year. I don't love that. That made me a little. I don't think he's not going to change, but it made me a little bit of as an excuse or like, oh no, we're fine. There's just a few things to clean up. That's what it is to me. It's just a few things we got to clean up. When it's like, man, there's more than just a few things that need to be cleaned up from this offense.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a full-on figuring out what the issues were. But you can't just walk away from the season and go, we were lucky in 24 and unlucky this year. Maybe don't play close games. Don't be in that many close games because the offense wasn't good enough the last couple of years as to why you were having to win some of those close games in 24.
Yeah.
And you couldn't come away with those close games in 2025. There's a lot of noise in some of these close games in the fourth quarter. The press conference continued. Soren asked Andy Reid about Patrick Mahomes when he talked about accountability when he was at his press conference a couple of weeks ago.
No, I think Pat probably said it best right there, is that we've always had accountability here. With Eric or without Eric, it was still, you're responsible for certain things. And so whoever's coming in better be feeling that. And there's a certain standard that you're going to hold each other to. And I'm sure that's what Patrick was, without quizzing him here, Soren, I would tell you that's probably what he was saying.
He also said someone who would bring in new ideas every day, I think was the way he phrased it. I know you've had different people come in, whether it was, I think it was Chris Holt was the Nevada coach. And, this offense obviously looks real different than, say, the way Bill Walsh was running it with the 49ers, right? You've never been afraid to change and adapt. Is that something you have to, constantly remind yourself that it needs to happen? Do you when you win, when you have the kind of success you guys have, are you liable to maybe fall into a rut and not look for the different kind of changes that maybe you would otherwise?
Yeah, I think we do a good job with that. We try to give you a little different flavor every year and stay ahead of things. I think we've got to do a better job all the way around and every area. I think that's important. And so you go through and you hammer this thing out. You take every offensive play, every defensive play, every special teams play. You go through it. You make sure that you've got guys that are aware of the league and how things go there, different trends offensively, defensively, and on special teams. And you use all the technology that's out there. There's no reason to be stagnant. You've got too many different options. You shouldn't have to bring in the latest, greatest here and there and all that. That's not. You've got all that right at a fingertip for you if you want to go that route.
Hopefully that's the route they go in figuring out the different trends, where the league is going. There's no reason to be stagnant. Okay, well, I agree. Completely agree. And I've talked about it, a number of times, that I think there is a benefit of the doubt given that Andy Reid has updated his offense multiple times throughout his time with the Chiefs. I don't think he will then just go into the offseason and say there's no reason to change what we've done the last couple of years. Let's just keep doing the same thing. I think there is a figuring out what's going on around the league. What does Eric Bieniemy offer? Get him in there, and what does Eric Bieniemy see? Because now you have an outside. It's not just self-scouting.
Yeah.
Now Eric Bieniemy can come in and see what's been going on this year. Like, all right, EB, what are you seeing? What are the issues that you're coming away with as you're scouting this team? What would you do as the offensive coordinator or play caller or whatever? Okay, well, this is the problem here on this particular play, and I saw this issue, and this issue kept coming up, and these are the things that need to be addressed. You've got an outside eye that isn't in there every single day, that's been every day with the Bears, that now that he's with the Chiefs, can focus on the self-scouting as to what happened without going, well, yeah, this happened, but this is what we were trying to do, Eric. Well, yeah, but see, he did that, but this is what we were really coaching. It's like, no, this was a problem. I don't care why it was the problem. It was a problem, and that needs to be fixed.
Because when it's all said and done, at the end of the day,
right?
Your offense, Andy, last year was 2 scoops of ass.
That's what Eric Bieniemy always says, is the number of scoops of ass, and also I'll say this, and it's all about it's about the alphabet, and the scoops. It's all about the alphabets and the scoops. Last one, Matt Derrick asked Andy Reid about how play calling will work with Eric Bieniemy's return.
Yeah, so listen, I still enjoy calling plays, but what I do is I'm not afraid to delegate and get opinions from people, and then even in certain situations, letting them go ahead and call things in different areas. So we do this jointly. I keep it open, and I felt that that's the best way. I want guys that contribute. I want them to work hard and be expert in their area, and then cumulative in all areas. So it's I've always mixed and matched there, I guess I'd tell you, Matt, and it seemed to have been fairly productive.
And you've mentioned that you want to get things fixed and cleaned up from what went wrong in 25. What do you feel like is the biggest way that EB can do that? What's the area where you feel like he can make the biggest impact?
First of all, I'm going to tell you this, Matt. Find a year where I haven't said that. Now, maybe you can pull it up, but every year I'm going to tell you whether we win the Super Bowl or not, man. There's areas that we got to go through and hash out here and make sure we get better at. So I think that's every year. I think it's every game. If you can kind of keep that mentality through the day, you're going to be okay, and get yourself better. But I think EB, what are some of his strengths? I think he's got a great knowledge of the offense. I think he's understands leadership. I've always said he's a great leader of men, whether it's coaches, players. I think he does a heck of a job there. He's good with you guys. He's very honest with you. And there's no hidden agendas. I mean, that's just his personality. And listen, we're talking about EB here. So I'm not talking about Matt Nagy. That's not what we're doing. We're not comparing here. This is EB. You asked me his strengths. Those are his strengths.
Look, by saying there's a strength of Eric Bieniemy, I am not saying that is a weakness of Matt Nagy. Do you understand how great of a coach Matt Nagy is? Because I'll be damned if a GM is listening to this conversation thinking that I am complimenting Eric Bieniemy while also talking about shortcomings of Matt Nagy. That is not the case. Matt Nagy is an absolute gem and should be hired somewhere. He is so good that we decided it was best that we just went our separate ways. He's that good that we needed to figure something else out here that might have been different in one way, shape, or form that he can move on and find. I do think that was
Kirk
mutual.
Cousins with the Vikings when they said that. Remember, was it the Vikings and Kirk? I think it's when he had those seasons, and instead of giving the contract, they go, we want to give him the experience and the ability to explore getting a contract from another team.
Or was that the Commanders that happened with Kirk? I don't remember.
I forget, but it was along the lines of basically saying, no, he's so good, we're actually not going to bring him back.
We're thinking of him. I do believe there was a mutual part of this, that if Matt Nagy wanted to just remain as the offensive coordinator and not go out and run his own show, I do think he would be a part of the offense. I think he would still be the OC, and it would be about bringing in different guys this offseason, and can you find different people to help influence the offense one way or another. So I do think there is that for sure. I'm in agreement and of the belief that this was Nagy and Andy Reid's sort of coming together. But man, that was an interesting press conference. That was a press conference of saying, we're happy to have Eric Bieniemy back, and Matt Nagy has to get a job somewhere because you guys are stupid if you're not hiring him.
It was a PR interview.
I mean,
That's what it was.
It really. What's Eric Bieniemy going to? Well, Eric Bieniemy, it's just I'm really looking forward to what he can bring to the table, and he's very direct with players and coaches, and but both ways have been productive. Matt, his way of doing it is also good. It's also very productive in how he does things.
Shoot, I don't know. Maybe we might keep Matt Nagy. We might just keep both.
The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm like, why are we letting this guy get away?
We got Jim back.
I mean, we need multiple Jims. You know what I mean? Like Jim and James, Jimmy John.
Jim Halpert might join.
Yes, any of the Jims.
Jimmy Johns.
Go work out at a gym. Bring a gym in. Go work out at a gym. Sell gyms, whatever it might be. We need everybody here. But then at the end, they're saying, Matt, find a season where I didn't say that there are some things we have to improve on. There are some things we have to do to get better at and to clean some things up. And yeah, that is true. It just got old this year hearing it week after week after week when there really wasn't the cleaning up of things that took place.
There were still messes.
Yes. We'll take a time out, come back, continue rolling. More Zone next. All right, wrapping up this hour, we'll talk with Mick Schaefer, KSHB 41 Sports Director, coming up in the next hour. We got to learn funniest best before the show is over. Get his thoughts on the games that took place yesterday, some college basketball, and whatever else may come up. EB officially back with the Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid having his press conference to talk about EB and to discuss the great things that Matt Nagy brings to the table as a head coach or an offensive coordinator, so that he could finally run his own show with the purity and not have Andy Reid's name attached to it. So, but Andy, I'm still going to call the plays. It doesn't matter.
Funny.
Shame on you nerds.
His wife and kids think he's lame.
No!
We couldn't get Paul, so we're stuck with Mick.
Yep. Okay, still got it going on.
Mick Schaefer on the Zone with Jason Anderson.
Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, The Zone on a Monday edition. Mick Schaefer hanging out with us, presented by Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. KSHB 41 Sports Director Mick Schaefer is with us here. Good to see you, Mick. It's been
Good
a
to
while.
be here. Saw you last night.
I know. I saw you last night too.
Thanks for coming in, braving the weather.
Yes, I appreciate that you said the best drivers that you know were the ones that you had in on Sound Off. That is so true. Though.
All guys.
Yes.
Oh, I'm kidding.
Yes, it just happened to be that. And I'm glad that you finally admit that I'm the best driver that you know. So
I don't know
you.
if I've ever ridden with you driving anywhere, have I? I've driven you somewhere, I believe, at the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, that was in Miami, right?
Yeah, I was in a mood too, so
that was fun.
driven
I enjoyed
angrily.
that. I enjoyed that
media
ride.
day, yeah.
I don't think I've rode nor driven with either of you fellers.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't lived yet, then apparently.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I have no idea if you're good or bad drivers. I couldn't tell you.
Driver.
I bet it won't happen with Mick Schaefer in Santa Clara at the Super Bowl.
I won't be there.
Nope, he won't be there.
Oh, why not?
We cover when
'cause
our
the
teams
Chiefs
go.
won't be there.
Oh. I just didn't know if you went.
You didn't know that? You thought we went to every Super Bowl?
I think you should go to every
We
Super
are.
Bowl. I think you should go to every Super Bowl.
Are you a
that-
TV station?
Well,
we're streamed.
We video stream.
So that makes your TV
Yeah,
station.
I think it
Does it?
does.
Okay,
I think
okay,
it
good.
does. Technically, now, am I like the sports director of 10 to 2?
Can you see my
Maybe.
Can you see my
You're the-
face?
Unfortunately.
That is.
Yeah.
That
I'm
is
the
a rough one,
assistant.
yeah.
I'm assistant to the TV director from
Yes.
10 to 2.
There you go. I thought maybe they sent you to every Super Bowl that NBC had.
Oh, good call.
Nope.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's the only two I have missed since 2018 season because we went to the one in Atlanta, which would have been early 2019 because Mahomes was getting his MVP
That's
award.
right, the MVP award.
So I have been to every Super Bowl except for the two on NBC, which would have made us a lot of money. Great how
So
that's
the
worked
Chiefs
out, right?
apparently, the Chiefs have been to all those Super Bowls too.
So they don't like you.
It's the first time since the 2017 season that I haven't covered AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
AFC Championship game.
Do
It's
you
wild.
miss it, or is it
Did
nice
you enjoy
to
the
have
day
some
off?
time
Fine to have a
off?
day off. Yeah, it's fine to have
It's all
a year
good.
off. Let's go.
Yeah, but
fine.
back next year.
Selfish.
Take a 1-year hiatus.
Yeah. Back
You know,
next.
Are you
the
rejuvenated
next
now?
couple of
That
years.
that 2 extra Sundays, you're rejuvenated.
Two
now.
extra
will be.
Sundays, baby. That's a month and a half.
I know.
Chiefs will be
yeah.
rejuvenated. I mean, they would still be going through the grind right now. The grind of everything.
They would.
And another week of practice and then travel and then all of the media stuff there in Santa Clara.
Why didn't we go to Cancun?
I don't know. I know that Broncos fans
I
can be in
went in
Cancun.
November.
Yeah, Broncos fans can be in Cancun now.
It can
So,
be.
They got a whole
Why is
offseason
that
to rest up.
It's the only place to vacation.
Yeah,
apparently?
yeah,
It's always
because anybody that's a professional athlete, you
I'm
go to
willing bet-
Cancun.
yeah, they're going to some islands that I've never heard of.
Nope, Patrick and Brittany every time Cancun.
Don't the Hunts
Just
own
go
an
to-
island? Wouldn't that be awesome? That's where
Probably,
all the
yes.
Chiefs can just go to our own island.
Yes.
We have.
If you
If
join the
Hunts owned
Chiefs
an island.
and you lose, you get to use our island for the month.
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty
Oh,
good
man, I
free
would-
agent perk. I guess then
Great
maybe you'd
free
want
agent
to
perk.
lose.
Although, I mean,
To
you have
use
the
the
island.
island.
You need people and structures there to accommodate you to make it a vacation.
Yeah.
You want to go there and be like Wilson and like Tom Hanks. You want to have some
like
stuff already
that.
built in.
What
there.
happened
Yeah.
in that movie? There's a volleyball.
Yeah, Wilson.
It's a sports movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
about
it's a sports
volleyball.
movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And sailing.
Yeah.
It's about a volleyball.
Sailing,
It's
yeah.
about sailing. It's about a lot of things. Yeah. You think like Patrick and Brittany go
It's
to
about
like
a chick not waiting long enough for him.
That's right. Like giving up.
Come on, Helen
I mean,
Hunt.
giving up on the relationship.
Oh, that's just. Oh, you mean Forrest Gump?
Yes. Yep. There's Forrest Gump and the girl from Mad About You.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You think Patrick and Brittany just go to like Cancun and just hang out at
Yeah,
Singapore
they just go to the regular one. Yes.
just walk into scene. We're just going to Cancun. That's where everybody goes.
I
Everybody
say
goes to
this because
Cancun.
of experience, because we went, my family and I, with my mom's side, or my wife's side, we went to this remote island in the Bahamas almost 10 years ago, and that's where we saw Tom Brady and his family.
That's
there.
right, yeah.
Literally the only ones on this tiny little island because we took a little boat trip.
Are there people there?
What's that?
Like, do they have people that work there?
The island?
Yeah.
Yes. Although where we stayed, well, it's where they play the Bay tournament. What is that in the Bahamas? It's Bay. That's the name of the course. I'll find it. But they have a PGA tournament there. And so on one half of the island is where all the 1%ers are. And the other half is kind of a sleepy little hollow. Yeah. But they have 2 awesome bars that, I mean, there's like 7,000 islands in the Bahamas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people will boat to those bars, party boats or whatever each day.
Sure.
We stayed there.
Oh, Lake of the
And
Ozarks.
so they were, that's exactly it. It's
same thing.
Party Cove. It's just Party Cove, yeah.
of the Bahamas.
Lake of the Bahamas.
And
1, 2, 3, Branson.
Yes.
Is it Bay Hill, I want to say?
Oh, Bay Hill, yeah.
Is that the one?
Well, I don't know if
in
that's the one you're
Bahamas?
talking about, but
I mean, I've heard of a Bay Hill.
Yeah.
Bay Hill Golf Course.
That PGA course in the Bahamas. Find that one.
That's Orlando,
Yeah,
Florida.
not that
so
one. Then.
I don't.
Man, I could have swore we were in the Bahamas.
Well, I mean, typically after a Super Bowl, Mahomes does
You're
go
in
to
Florida
Disney.
the whole time.
The whole
Mick was
time,
just
I-
that drunk. He's like, Bahamas! You are in Orlando.
My family was
Bahamas
like,
again.
just let him go with it.
There's not even a beach around you. You're in Orlando. The Magic play right there.
He's just drinking a drink called the Bahama, so just let him go.
It's called the Bahama Mama.
Yes. Mahomes and his family go to Florida after most Super Bowls, right? I mean, they go to Orlando and visit Disney
I like
World.
Charles Barkley's thought of if you don't win enough games, you don't go to Cancun, you go to Galveston. You go to Galveston, Texas. In the words of Charles with that, quote, dirty ass water.
Yeah.
That's one of my all-time favorite Chuck beefs is him in Texas, basically. Just
Him in San Antonio, especially.
San
San Antonio
yeah,
and
the
Galveston.
women.
I don't know why.
Yep, San Antonio and the women and Galveston. So the Broncos fans will be heading to Cancun, the only place where you can vacation once you get eliminated. And as
Do you think it's separated by teams down there, by position groups? Like all the sinners hang out, all the kickers get to chill.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot like when you go to like the Final Four and there are 4 different like bars that are like the host. Like this that bar. So it's like each resort in Cancun will be an NFL team's resort.
Baker's Bay.
Baker's Bay. Okay.
Mayfield was there.
Wide receivers would be the worst because they're all divas over there. Like all like the left guards are all just chilling, having fun. In Cancun when they separate by position group.
Yeah.
Oh, they separate. I thought they just separated by team.
I think position group would be more fun.
Yeah.
Because like
left guards can't even interact with sinners.
Yeah, no, not at all. Or right guards. They're all separate.
They're on opposite sides of the resort.
Right tackles are so mad because like why are the left tackles getting paid more than us to do the exact same job? Wide receivers are all getting in fights every single day. There's something wrong with the wide receiver. There's always in the news. Fullbacks, all 7 of them are just chilling. They're like, guys, this is
Remember 2
phenomenal.
years ago there was 15 of us.
Yes.
Where's everybody gone?
It's like the Hunger Games, just keep dwindling down one by one by one.
Fullbacks are like carrying stuff around for the workers. I got it. I'll Sherpa this. It's not a big. I'm used to it. This is kind of what we do anyway.
At night,
just load me up. You know, all right, more. Yep. Put that box right on top.
They get in the they have on the beach and they're it's nighttime. They get like a flashlight and hold up and telling scary stories. Last year there were 8 of us. Next year there'll be 6.
No. Which, by the way, the last time the Chiefs did have a fullback was the last year of Eric Bieniemy. And Eric Bieniemy left, and Andy Reid left the fullback off the roster.
Okay.
So you're saying the fullback
was what's his name? Michael.
It was the bratwurst.
Burton.
It wasn't sausage. Michael Burton was after him.
Yeah, it was the sausage.
movie guy.
It was the bratwurst because they called him Brat.
Oh, they called him the Brat. Gotcha.
Because the sausage with Anthony Sherman.
The Burton.
Tim Burton.
Yeah. So the Brat. But yeah, they had the Brat and Blake Bell. They had a third tight end that was a true blocking tight end and a fullback. And then Eric Bieniemy went elsewhere. Matt Nagy came in, and they got rid of both.
I would not be surprised if a fullback is back next year.
I really wouldn't either with the way that we're seeing other fullbacks in the NFL. Yeah.
Did the Bears have one? They did.
And then
Chargers
with EB liking those.
Ravens, Broncos have 2, I think.
Which is weird because like Andy Reid was the last one. It's like there are no fullbacks, but Andy Reid's going to keep.
Check still.
He's more of an H back.
Is he okay?
No, but he fullback. What is weird is they thought about it for a little with Carson Steele, right? There was that convo: is he a fullback? Is he a running back? And he was basically neither. I don't know. Great hair though, and fun story.
Where did he go?
He recently went to I want to say like
Philly.
the Bill. It was a Philly.
That's right.
Yeah. Which I mean, I root for the guy, but it felt like he didn't really have a position. He was kind of the in-betweener.
Well, he didn't have a position he was good enough at.
And so I do wonder if they actually try and bring the fullback back, or if they just say, hey, Kareem Hunt, to an extent, is our de facto fullback. He's not going to be our blocking back, but you can put him, because they still ran a little I formation occasionally with 2 backs in, and they would just hand it to Kareem on those 4th and 1s, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was still I formation.
I feel like they kind of solved their short yardage problem over the last 2 years.
Yeah, that was not the issue.
Without one, yeah. But I know with the fullback, you can scheme different things, right? With an extra tight end, it can give defenses a different look, and you can get more favorable matchups at times.
Yeah, so we'll see if that's the case if the Chiefs bring that back. Seahawks and Patriots. I was looking back at the preseason predictions. Mick, that's what you had before the season. Seahawks and Patriots going to the Super Bowl.
Was it?
We told you how stupid you were. Could not believe that you went that route. But how smart are you now that the 4-13 Patriots are now in the Super Bowl?
I mean, I did say that last week. I think that was my prediction.
Actually, you know what? That's what it was. That's what it was. It was last week.
Give me 4 teams, and some of the times I'm going to get 2 right. I got 2 more right than you, I think, right? Or no, you got the Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks right. I got one of them. Right.
I said Mike versus Mike, and it ended up being Mike versus Mike.
That's right. I finally picked against something that I wanted to happen, and I got it wrong. So I'm happy about it. Because I was like, no, the Jags. Nah, it's got to be the Texans. Broncos. And they lost. Oh, darn it.
We had Rams and Bills, and neither made it. We got semi.
At least I got one
I
right.
hope the NFL fans are happy. They prayed so hard to get the Chiefs out of it, and where did it bring them? Right back to square one, and you're back to the Patriots. Congratulations.
It's so funny. It's just the
Well
AFC. Tom Brady retired. AFC's wide open. And the Chiefs dominate. Okay, Patrick's on the playoffs. AFC's wide open.
Back to the Patriots.
Yeah, you wanted to kill the mind flare, and instead you got Vecna back, okay?
Sterling, you good with that? You like that analogy?
I have.
I'm sure he hasn't seen it.
I have no. I don't know the 2 words you just said.
Doesn't know what he's.
What movie is this?
It's Stranger Things. It's a TV show.
Wasn't English.
No, that's not.
Vecna and Mind Flare? Okay.
The 2 youngest people here have not seen.
That is weird, yeah.
That is Stranger.
They're like your age.
Thanks.
Michael Darcy.
I've never seen it.
I watched call that a Stranger
the
Thing.
First 15 minutes, the first episode, I was like, yeah, I'm good.
You're like, no.
First season was pretty good.
I don't remember the 80s at all, so I'm out.
That was the hook that got me the first season,
Me too.
because it was like, this is like Goonies. No wait, it's kind of like E.T.
Yeah,
no wait, it's like
going to the arcade. You got
Yeah.
they got New Coke. Oh yeah. Got the Atari, and then oh man, this is great.
First season was good. It just didn't hook me.
You watched it?
I've seen it when it came out.
Okay.
I just something about like the extraterrestrial and like zombies or
no zombies,
the monsters or
monsters. Yeah,
those things. There's not for me. I'm not like
vampires.
You want to keep it
and
real?
I want to keep it real. There's enough scary things in the real world that I don't need to create and have the creation of other scary things.
Good for you, man.
There's enough.
That's powerful and brave.
Yeah,
courageous and strong.
Also, what my 10-year-old thinks.
Why would I care about monsters when real monsters exist, like Mount Everest, like Antarctica, and Ernest Shackleton's voyage down there? Like they're real.
That's a monster of a climb.
Antarctica they've been haunting us forever.
They have been. There's crazy things going on down there.
Yeah, you never know where it's going to be. It's sneaking up on you.
It's like,
it could. The poles move.
Cold.
Yeah,
so cold down there. Never know.
I just read about Into Thin Air with John Krakauer with his
read that one too.
Mount Everest expedition, and that was terrifying. You don't need I don't need those fake monsters. There's real things that happen in life that are scary.
That monster grabbed him and pulled him up onto the mountain, didn't it?
Well, it could have been.
Could have been, yeah.
Or it was doing, We don't even get into the actual book. It's a good book.
So you got the reference of the Sherpas for the fullback.
Yeah, I did get the Sherpas because there was
great because of the Sherpas in the Mount Everest
and Tenzing Norgay.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Mick.
Yeah.
Did the snow improve your watching or make it worse in the game?
I love watching it. I thought it's crazy. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine in that, first of all, I don't go into a game thinking the 2 teams owe me entertainment.
Yes, they do. They owe it to me.
This needs to be a close game.
And a good game.
And a good game. They aren't entertainers to me. I watch for entertainment, but to see great plays and maybe some history made. But they are not scripted athletes, despite the poster that reemerged from. Do you see that?
Yes, the 4 closest one.
Actually, they put him there because they were the farthest away. I mean, had Saquon made it, and then whoever's in front of Saquon, you would have been like, oh my gosh.
But also, Bo Nix was on that, and he didn't even play in the game.
He was right there.
He didn't even play in the game. So,
so anyway, I don't think they owe me a great game. But at the same time, if you said, and the debate's being sparked by like, okay, the Chiefs might be indoors the entire time, right? If you said, okay, the Chiefs will never play in those conditions, I'm fine with that. I'm kind of more old school and like, okay, football could be played in all different types of weather. But if you're like, we don't want a blizzard, I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
we'll be indoors. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it does greatly alter the game and probably favors one set of dudes more than the other. And I feel like that's part of it. You need to be able to be a complete team that can win in all different sorts of environments. But I'm not stompy foot one way or the other. I'm like 51-49 on this. If the Chiefs go, I hope it's a rolling roof. But the Chiefs go all indoors, I'm like, no, it's fine. I was at the Dolphins-Chiefs playoff
Experienced
game.
that.
So I was good. At any point in that, I would have signed.
That didn't really
signed
snow,
up any
though.
time.
I think snow would have helped that game.
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about elements.
Yeah, that
period.
just sucked.
Yeah.
At that point, you want snow because the snow almost
Much
acts
rather have
as,
a blizzard at
as a
20
buffer.
degrees
Yeah,
than
as a
minus
buffer.
40.
and
Yeah.
minus 40 and sun.
Where's the sun? That's that John
You know
Denver's
it's not
full of
going to
bleep.
snow. I'm like, what'd you say? Because my ears aren't working right now.
Yeah, that's John Denver, man.
I can't blink.
Yeah, I felt. I mean, Arrowhead's home field advantage is Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's the home
100%.
because they didn't have a home
It's
field
been
advantage
cold
before
here
Patrick
for
Mahomes.
decades. Yeah.
That 2003 no punt game was freaking freezing. It
was very cold.
95 against the Colts. That's a dome team, and that was brutally cold.
Yes.
So cold. Imagine if they played that game outdoors, but because it was indoors with a roof, that's why the Colts, an indoor team, were able to come into Kansas City and knock off Bono and the Chiefs because of, oh, wait, it was outside in the brutal cold, and an indoor dome team came in and won that game.
Well, I don't
Weird.
think we've ever had like an NFC championship game or an AFC or a Super Bowl where afterward it was in New Orleans or, you know, Minnesota, Detroit or something like that, where afterward we're like, God, you know what? I would have really liked to see these teams not in 72 degrees and no elements. Everybody's like, okay, that game was
That game
played
happened.
and we're good.
The game happened. We watched it.
Again, I'm not throwing a fit either way, but yeah, if you want to take the elements out of the game, I'm just fine with it.
I was okay watching it because my team wasn't involved.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay,
That's where I
watching
was
this.
too.
It's a little different. You know, the guys are sliding around.
yeah.
It's like what I remember of as a little
It was
kid playing
enjoyable. I'm
football.
like, okay, is either one of these teams going to be able to complete a pass, make a kick, change the score from 10-7?
You're waiting for disaster is really what it is.
Yeah.
I was on the edge waiting, not because it's going to be run, then basically a throwaway.
It's the best golfers in the world out of the rough at US
Yeah,
Open.
that-
So I'm like,
that was
okay. This is
who's gonna
these guys
shank
are
one?
awesome every other day of the year, but now they're slip sliding away and they can't hold on to footballs and there's
It's interesting because Field Yates brought up that analogy and said it reminded me of two golfers that are going down the stretch like the last four holes and there's a one-stroke lead and they're both sort of playing as in like, well, I don't want to make a mistake and fall further behind. Well, I don't want to make a mistake. And so they're kind of just playing par golf, hoping the other one makes a mistake. It's like, and that's what it just reminded me of. Both teams were like, handoff, short pass, punt, handoff, short
we'll
pass,
see
punt.
that in like regular conditions too. Two teams that are very, very conservative because it's a tight game and they don't want to make mistakes either way. So I'm like you. I thought it was very enjoyable to watch. I think it's cool whenever it's snowing like that. It's a blizzard and you see a different type of game. But also, if you're like, we don't need this in our playoffs, I'm like, okay.
I don't need Patrick Mahomes brought down to the level of whoever he's going up
Exactly
against.
right.
It's like, well, you just took away what Patrick Mahomes does. That's no fun.
And that was my main takeaway was I think for the Patriots, you were almost not mad, but I think it made it harder on them because it brought down Drake May to not to Bo Nix's level, but to Jarrett Stidham's level. It made the quarterback play fairly equal because you couldn't do anything in that. I know people will say, well, Patrick's better than both. Yeah, I don't argue that, but he's not played in that weather. He played in snow, but it wasn't that sort of windy,
What's the
gusting.
closest he would? Was it kind of like
That
that in
Broncos game.
Colts playoff game?
Well, it snowed crazy before that
it wasn't-
Colts game.
So I was at the Denver game, the regular season game against Drew Lock, but it wasn't anything.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
snowing.
that-
It was cold.
Was that the
but
big Byron Pringle touchdown return?
Tyreek Hill
it
caught
was
a
the one. It
touchdown
was the
in that
long
game.
So
touchdown
early.
pass to Tyreek.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But that's kind of my point of it's fun, and that's what makes the NFL so great. I'm just glad it wasn't Patrick. I mean, I wish Patrick was playing in this game because that means they're in the playoffs. But I'm glad that this hadn't been traditionally this because I think it brings him down to more everyone else because you can't throw in this. You can't do anything in this. That's where I am, but it's fun to watch. I'm glad the NFL, we got both games. We got a high-scoring indoor, not indoor, but nice weather game that was electric. Then you had the snow game. This is the NFL.
Yeah, the nice weather in the north, right?
Yeah.
Because all the bad weather. I know we were in Denver, but Denver's farther south than Seattle.
But this is the NFL's version of different stadiums in baseball. the weather is the of Yankee short porch and right versus Kauffman's cavernous center field. Like this is the difference because Major League Baseball, they do the stadiums. NFL, the field's the exact same, but it's the elements that makes the game different.
But did you see that Denver doesn't have a heated field for whatever reason?
It's a home field advantage for them. It clearly worked.
Clearly.
They used that home field advantage to their advantage. So
I don't get that.
The Chiefs, they've got one, right? I
Chiefs
think
have
I've
one.
seen
like the lines.
Yeah, underneath.
They had to overlay the lines at one point, then they just stopped.
They did.
I don't know if they couldn't see it anymore. Like, we can overlay the lines because they're right kind of there, but then now they're gone.
Lutz said we might have been a yard too close on that field goal because it going to look like they were 7 yards apart, but they couldn't tell because usually most teams go 8 yards back of the line of
I love that
scrimmage.
Jim Nance was like, I don't even know what line they're on. We're waiting
idea.
We're waiting to be told what where the line is, but here they are playing football. And then Romo was like, snow!
I don't know, Jim.
I don't
where
know.
they're at, Jim.
Snow!
Tony?
There's snow out there.
He's morphing into Harry Carey a little bit. If you're a hot dog, would you eat yourself?
Yeah.
I mean,
If the moon was made out of cheese, would you eat it? I know I would.
Who's going to win this?
Budweiser.
Who's going to eat the football, Jim? I don't know.
I will say, Tom Brady has grown on me.
I agree, but
So-
Matt Derek
was-
he was
he-
like, it's the best day of the year. That means Tom Brady's done doing football games. Like, I thought it was a lot better this year.
I thought he was pretty brutal year one. I thought this is not going to work. He's just giving cliches. There's nothing that makes him be Tom. Like we
He
saw
didn't
Tom
seem comfortable.
He didn't seem comfortable, but he was great. I thought this year. I thought the JSN comment of how is he always open? Because I tweeted that. I go, how is JSN always open? Every team knows that he's like their guy, and yet all the attention goes to him. Yet he's still always open. How? And he goes, well, because of, it's almost like he was responding to me. It was great.
Saw your tweet.
He saw it and goes, oh, great job, Sterling from KC.
Props to you.
His shoulder plane never moves. His shoulders stay the same height every single move, whether he's slowing down or speeding up. It's all one level plane, which makes it nearly impossible for a cornerback to figure out, is he going quicker? Is he slowing down? How is he cutting? And I was just, the nuance of that I thought was incredible. And that's why you want Tom Brady, because of those things. By the way, I thought most of the game, I thought Romo was actually fine. I thought he was pretty fun.
Then Romo was like, why does he get open? He's wearing 2 1s, Jim.
Well, and
there's a 2-1. They don't know which one to go to.
We're more
it's
used
2 1s.
to Romo and Nance than any other fan base, right? Because it
Oh my
was
God. It was
about
what, 5
every
weeks
week
in a row
for
this
about,
year?
5 years in a row.
But this year, I think they had 5 straight weeks
They
where it was
did,
Nance and
yes.
Romo. And like, good night,
I'm
man.
fine with it.
Yeah, whatever.
I feel like, listen, most of the time, the more you hear these guys, the more you get tired of them, right? It's
true.
You point to me to the most annoying set of play-by-play and color guys in football. I'll probably point to the most expensive ones, the guys doing the best games, making the most money, just because they're out there and you see them the most. And so I love Collinsworth. A lot of people.
I love Collinsworth.
fine with Collinsworth, yes.
Everybody cracks on Collinsworth.
This
What is
guy.
he doing wrong? But I know, and everybody's. It's hard. You're on 3 hours a week times 18
Now-
in the playoffs. And
now
everything.
here's a
You're
guy-
gonna repeat some stuff.
Yeah.
That reminds me of my
Yes.
childhood. No, but like they do. Like I don't know. Collinsworth to me seems like a guy I want to hang out and have a beer with.
Yeah, I think Aikman is far behind Collinsworth.
Yes.
Far behind. Help me out. Who are the
Greg Olson is
I think
maybe
he's behind Olson.
Greg
Yeah.
Olson might be at the top.
I like Greg Olson
He
a
might
lot.
he might be number 1 out of all the analysts. He's really, really good. And he got moved to number 2 for Tom Brady.
He did.
But I still think he might be the best analyst out there. Just the information he brings, the entertainment of it, and how quickly he can get to it and break it down. He's pretty good. Tom Brady's gotten better. But
I thought
Greg
Brady
Olson-
was really good this year. Personally, my opinion, I thought he grew a lot.
Yeah. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. Learn funniest best coming up next. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Time for a little Learn Funniest Best here on this Monday edition of the show. Learn Funniest Best. We go around the room what we learned from the weekend, funniest from the weekend, best from the weekend. My learned from the weekend is that I learned that I already know I'm afraid of heights, but I learned that I am so afraid of heights that I get the same feelings in my stomach watching somebody else
climb.
Yes,
Free climb.
I mean, it's just, and he's standing up there and he's doing different things, and my entire stomach is churning, and I got to look away, and I'm like clenching. He gets up there. The selfie got me when he got up there and he was taking the selfie and he's leaning over, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Get down! Why are you doing this?" And I can't even imagine what it would be like to be his wife, watching him climb up there, and then she gets up on the roof with him, and they're hugging and taking selfies. She's clearly into the whole
you gotta
thing.
climb down now,
yeah,
buddy.
now take the elevator, wimp.
He
Alex
was
Honnold.
on Free Solo. Have you seen that documentary?
I haven't seen the documentary
most
because
terrifying movie of my life.
That's
and
why
I'm
I
not
haven't
afraid
seen
of
it.
heights.
And I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah,
And
just watching that, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I get sweaty just watching him do these things. I don't know how he does it. Where I don't know how you're able to turn your brain off to have the Abdullah Oblongata tell you,
yeah,
I'm not scared right now. Like, how are your hands just not perpetually
you got all them teeth
wet
and no toothbrush.
All those sports, right, or all those activities, all I think about each time is like, all right, every time, I mean, you try to play basketball, you're going to miss a shot, right? Right? You're going to swing and miss at a baseball.
Can't
What
miss a
happens
step.
when that happens? You die.
Yeah, miss a step.
You got to be 100% on all that.
And all of the different things that he has climbed. All of the different things he has climbed solo, and yet he's still here with us. Like
for now,
Sterling can't even walk downstairs carrying laundry.
Honestly, think about that though.
That we just did.
No, but
Yeah,
like
we
in
just
a
actually-
serious, deep
We actually-
conversation.
We actually said it.
I've walked down steps at least 11 times. I've gone downstairs
In your life?
in my lifetime at least 11 times.
That's true. Minimum.
I feel like I'm a decent walker.
Of course, you think I have a high opinion of yourself.
I didn't say
When
great.
it comes to
decent
going up and
Mick,
down
I said
steps.
decent. I didn't say great.
yeah.
I'm an
You must
honest
be
man.
horrible at it. If you're calling yourself decent at
I'm a
something,
decent-
you must be horrible.
I'm
in
a
all
decent-
fairness, he didn't climb the tower with laundry in his hands.
You give that guy laundry and then tell him to come back to
You were
me.
going downstairs, though, right?
Yeah, well, he used to go down that thing with laundry in it.
He didn't
in
go-
a big, heavy
He
load.
did not go down. He climbed all the way up that thing. And then, like, again, he's standing there on, like, a saucer. And just
That's
taking
maybe
the
more terrifying than
selfie.
anything.
I was so scared for him.
What if
in
you
the
get a cramp?
selfie.
What if you get a cramp?
Then you just wait it out.
Question: does he have like a parachute on him?
No, dude. He's
No,
got
like
nothing.
he's like pull something if you fall.
No.
We know what a parachute is.
Yes, I'm aware of what.
Wait, okay. Actually, how does he get down?
Mick, the parachute. It straps like your back.
Oh, so if you fall, you slowly fall to the ground.
pull
It's
the
like
cord.
a big old balloon type.
How
deal
do
with
you?
string.
How
And
did
you can
how did he
parachute
get
out
down?
of it,
Not,
yeah.
not even front. How did he get down?
It goes down the elevator and the stairs.
Yeah, stairs.
What do you mean
to
elevator? He's on top of a building.
Well,
It's like
there's
you got to
At the
there's
top of
access
buildings,
to
you
it.
have to
You
have
got
access to the top of it.
Because his wife
Yeah.
was up there when
Okay.
he
Light
took,
bulbs and crap up there.
he and his wife were taking
I guess,
pictures and
I don't know.
selfies and stuff.
Sorry, dumb.
Yeah, he
dumb.
dies if he falls. End of story.
Yeah,
He dies if he falls.
Does Netflix carry it?
Absolutely, it was
No,
live.
it was live.
no. But there's no like a 7-second delay, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
So if he falls, do they show it or do they go to break?
I don't know.
I don't.
No,
I'm
the
not.
plan was.
I'm not sure, man. I was blown away by when he's climbing up and the people in the apartment are just like, "Hey!" They got their phone out and he's climbing past them. Like, don't distract him, you jerk! Like you're just there, like holding
I
your
don't
phone out.
understand rock climbing because, like in Free Solo, and by the way, one of the guys featured in that died not long after it. I'm like, well, how did he deserve?
That's
He died in an
not what-
avalanche.
I mean,
He didn't fall. He still didn't fall. He died in an avalanche.
Well, I guess you still.
I don't understand.
Car accident. Like who would have thought?
Yeah,
you
but
know?
it wasn't like he dn't fall off. It wasn't
yeah, I
gravity.
guess
It
you're
was-
right,
it was
yeah.
all- So there's always cameras above him. I'm like, how did that camera get there? Or when they do have like ropes and stuff,
Yeah.
there's always rings about. I'm like, how'd that ring get up there?
The real
for
story
you
is
to
how
go
those
by
cameras
yourself?
get there.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
They showed the
Drones.
camera crew after it was
Drones,
over, and they're all taking pictures and drinks and everything after it was over, and then they showed like pictures of those guys, and they're all hooked up, right?
Yeah.
But there's one guy with the camera.
Petrified just being the camera guy.
Yes, leaning. he's leaning over the building. Now he's got all the stuff connected, but he's leaning over the building with the camera. Like his body is
no thanks.
His body's like a 45-degree angle.
You know what?
Leaning down. I'm like, who? Like I couldn't.
Camera not shaking. Good for him. The
Dude,
camera would be
seriously.
shaking.
We had a
perpetually. Real quick to answer your question about some of the rings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the reason why I know this, I was reading a book. For example, with
thin air.
With Mount Everest, for example, a lot of times people who went there before, they leave some of their equipment.
But I feel like that's not like scaling up. That's more just surviving a big long path.
Well, sure, but
into,
they
like, the
like,
stratosphere.
for example, they'd have some ladders against
like
some
a ladder, sure, yeah.
crevices that they would have like crevasses that are there. They would have some rings that were already nailed
there,
and that they wouldn't because you're not
That
gonna
helps.
take it down.
Yeah, that makes sense. Guys that have done it before.
What about this building? Do they have like little rings on this building for guys that have, that have scaled this damn
one
thing?
year, about 10 years ago, for Big Brothers Big Sisters fundraiser, you could rappel down the Baltimore building downtown, which I want to say is 20 stories.
Yeah, zero chance.
I did it.
Oh, wow.
And so I thought it was going to be like so much fun, like Mission Impossible, because you can push out with your feet and then slide down and catch it again.
It's not easy.
Not easy at all.
Oh my
and
God.
my legs were frozen. And so I just inched my way down, hanging from this apparatus, and it was not fun whatsoever. At that point, I'm like, no.
But you did it.
I did it. There wasn't much rappelling. It was like my toes would push, and like, I'm good. I'm just going to inch my way down. And the most terrifying part is like looking down right before you get in the little basket.
I've
like,
never
I'm done here because I've jumped out of a plane. I've skydived once.
Seriously?
Yeah, I got to do all these things just to kind of prove to myself.
I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were tight like that, dude. I didn't know
What
you
does that
were.
mean? What does tight mean?
Like I didn't know you were cool.
Oh yeah, well,
Or like a badass. I thought you were just like.
You got Riz.
Buddy, I've been bit by a poisonous snake.
That's true.
I've jumped out of airplanes.
Yeah. Hey, dude saved his life.
Any of those
Hey,
things.
dude
saved his life.
What
Yeah,
happened?
we'll always have that story. Hey, dude saved his life.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have time for that, I don't think. Well,
we don't have time for it.
That's
I
right.
kind of hear it though at some point.
But yeah, I'm badass, buddy.
What'd you learn, Sterling?
It's weird. I
besides,
just don't talk about it all the time.
Yeah, you should talk about it more.
Sterling, what did you learn besides all of that?
7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions is Pro Bowl worthy.
God, that's absurd, man.
Yeah, Shadur Sanders, Pro Bowler. 7 touchdowns, 10 picks. Shadur Sanders is a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, well, I don't. No words.
Is that worse than Tyler Huntley?
Yeah.
Yep.
Much
worse.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mick, what'd you learn?
I learned that Sam Darnold is the grandson of the Marlboro Man.
Yes.
Which, kids, back in the day, cigarettes used to get advertised every other commercial, right? And the Marlboro Man was, and they had multiple actors play the Marlboro Man.
Oh, man.
He was this badass guy that had a mustache, right? Very similar to you, smoking all the time. And the Marlboro Man's name, name in real life was Dick Hammer.
Dick Hammer. Baby.
Oh, yeah.
Dick Hammer.
Dick Hammer.
And so Dick Hammer was a stud.
Oh, yeah.
Was Dick Hammer huge?
He played basketball at USC. He was in the 1964 Summer Olympics on the volleyball team. He was an actor in a show called Emergency, which I kind of remember, seeing some of the reruns of that. And he was Marlboro Man in the 1970s. He died in 1999. Do you want to guess of what?
Rock climbing.
No.
Oh. Car accident?
What did the Marlboro Man die of?
Let's say.
I'm going to say lung cancer, but that would be too obvious.
Lung cancer.
Thought we were going the other way.
He died of lung cancer, and his granddaughter Frankie Darnold is Sam's sister, and she played volleyball at Rhode Island. And there's Sam Darnold, very athletic and famous family. Dick Hammer, look what he produced.
And
maybe a Super Bowl winning.
And the age he passed away.
Nice age. I don't want. No, I would like to go later, more.
Yeah,
higher
right.
Than that,
yeah,
but yeah.
For sure.
He did it for the bid, I guess.
Clearly.
He was committed to it.
Clearly. What did you learn from the weekend, Michael?
The Patriots have won as many games since December 21st as the Titans have won since firing Mike Vrabel.
6-6, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't even believe that's real.
It's a good call, though. Totally right to fire him.
Funniest
Funniest,
Chiefs.
funniest from the weekend, Sterling.
Yeah, so after the Patriots won yesterday, they all went out to the bars. my boy was partying with the Patriots. He found himself just hanging
Your
out.
son?
My friend,
Oh,
my
gotcha.
boy, like
Okay.
my dog.
Okay,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like my
Wow,
guy.
your dog was there?
Your dog? One of those bars they allow those in there?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Cool.
Service
Was
animal.
it a Shields? Because they always let them in.
But it was hilarious. He sent me a picture last night of him with the Patriots, and he was just there. And they liked him so much they asked for his number, I guess, to hang out.
Sure.
This was
Sounds like a real story.
I mean, I can prove it to you. I'll show you in the break.
No, really
asked for
funny.
his
No,
number.
it's fine.
A guy did.
I'm friends with the Patriots. They just go to a different high school.
But I was cracking up. He just found himself
This
last
is
night
in Boston?
Denver.
Because
The
they
game was in
celebrated
Denver.
after the game. They didn't get on the flight. Don't get on the flight.
That's true?
I have no idea.
I can show the picture.
I wasn't the one hanging out with
The
them.
Patriots went out in Denver after a day game.
That's what I have.
This is me raising my eyebrows right now.
I'll
They
show you.
fly directly back every game.
Is this one of those to where I saw Patrick Mahomes at the mall and it was a guy that's wearing a Mahomes jersey with the sunglasses and the haircut? It was like, oh my God, I can't believe Mahomes is there. It's actually a guy. It's actually a dude wearing a Drake May jersey. I got his phone number.
Maybe
though.
it happened, but that's not the usual modus operandi.
Funniest for you, Mick.
The funniest for me, Michael said this is an Oklahoma meteorologist.
Oh, okay.
Very attractive female meteorologist.
How much we've seen so far. Now, some of this is radar estimates, and then just your reports that you've been sending in. Keep those coming. I made the mistake on Facebook. I asked for your measurements. I meant your snow measurements. Thank you for everybody sending in your measurements, but I do prefer how much snow you have on the ground. 3 to 6 inches through the metro to the south.
I do prefer it's how much snow you have on the ground.
Oh, I think Sterling, you're one of the ones here. I sent it in.
Clearly
Didn't
did
you?
that.
What?
Your
Yes.
measurements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it your snow measurements?
So your vertical. At least 19.5-inch vertical. What was the funniest for you from the weekend, Michael?
I don't like how my funniest is following what he just said, but Leonard Taylor of
Hand
the
size.
Patriots had the he blocked the game-tying field goal.
Yeah.
And after the game, he said, quote, "I just jumped in the air and got a taste of the ball. No diddy."
No diddy. My funniest from the weekend is, we played this earlier because I just cannot get enough of this. We got to go to Eastern Kentucky and Appalachia for a middle school game where a fight breaks out on the floor. We got to get Justin, and Ryan's got to be tamed. Let's take a listen, everybody.
James, go get Justin.
Go get Justin. Go get Justin.
And here we go.
Let's get out of here.
Let's get the ball game.
Hey.
Ball game.
Look here.
Look here. Look
This
here.
ball game's got to get over.
Look here. Go and get.
Yeah, let's go. This game's over. I know what's doing this. We'll get somebody
I know
home
what's
fast.
doing
This
this.
game's over.
Yeah, you can't get this.
This game's over.
And they just tased Ryan.
And they just tased Ryan.
This ball game is over.
Let's leave.
Yeah, we're going to end our live feed. This game has got to come to an end.
And done. They just go dark. They just tased Ryan.
They just tased Ryan.
They just tased
I'd like to
Ryan.
apologize to Sterling. They stayed another night because of the inclement weather in Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his friends, Patriots players, go to a different high school. So
I
it's
told
all
you,
cool.
dude. I live a farcical life, and my boys do too.
Yeah.
This game's over.
Click.
And they just tased Ryan.
I got to know more about Ryan. And how many times that man has been tased. Best from the weekend. We start with you, Mick Schaefer.
You guys watch that UFC fight, the main event?
I
on
didn't end up
Saturday?
watching it.
So it's not free now, but it's on regular
Right.
Paramount if you have it.
Yeah.
You have to do the add-on, do that the pay-per-view, which is great. They have another one coming up this weekend. I enjoy watching. I don't pay a whole lot of attention. I'm a casual UFC fan.
Yeah.
My sons are always there telling me who's good. This is Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. It was the greatest fight I've ever seen.
Wow.
It was like Drago and Rocky. You thought every round, each one was going to win it. I mean, they are knocking each other. Then the other would get up and start beating the crap out of the other one. Both were like, I'm going to take my punches. I don't care about the strike rate, the scorecard, or whatever. I'm going for a knockout. Neither one got it. It was a split decision down the final, and the American won it. And he was a big underdog.
Gaethje,
And
right?
it was, Gaethje is how
Gaethje,
it looks
okay,
like,
yeah.
is how they say it. And then Paddy Pimblett, who I guess is maybe the next what's his name? Conor
McGregor, yeah. The bad haircut guy, right?
Yeah, bad haircut guy, big talker from Liverpool, and really good. But he got pummeled that match. Tough as nails, though. He stayed up. It was
USA.
If I can change and you can change, we all can change.
Nobody can change.
That was the best part of my weekend. Maybe. Although seeing Mark Mitchell hit the game winner was
pretty awesome, too. What was the best for you there?
My best was watching Melvin Council Jr. hit the Wabash at half court. And I think also to add on, I loved how they asked him about it post game. He wasn't here last year.
No.
But he watched a video of Kansas State celebrating on their own court after beating KU, and he's like, I took that personally.
It's on their own court.
And so I love that he actually cared about this rivalry, even though he was a transfer.
Yeah,
I
pretty
think
cool.
He's endearing himself to a long time. He'll be so good. I mean, they'll petition the NCAA for like 5 more years and might get it.
I think they should. Like Nigel Pack is,
that is almost 25.
So. Yes. My best was the 2 buzzer beaters. I mean, it's just I'm not sure that I've ever. I mean,
that's going to translate into
Pierce to inbound.
Wins.
Here's Barrett.
No. I was going to say the opposite.
Pass midcourt, gives it up. Pierce from the logo. Got it!
That sound.
Pierce at the buzzer sends us to overtime. Pick up a foul and watch Trent Pierce line it up. Right
Bucket.
on the money.
Which one's more pressure?
Field goal of
do you
the
think?
game.
What's that?
For Pierce.
Which one is more pressure?
5 minutes
3 to
of
tie
overtime
or 3 to
on the
win?
other side of this break.
Mitchell's. Mitchell's.
Brown, guarded by
We got a split here.
I think it's Mitchell's.
Brown looking for Pack. He's guarded. 6 to play. Off balance. Got it. Beautiful. 4.8 left. Here's Mitchell across midcourt for Mizzou for the win. Yes!
Got it, Mark Mitchell.
I think I give it to the tougher one being the one to tie.
Really?
Yeah, me too.
Just because there's a little part of you going up when you're going to win it of like, this goes in, we could win.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little more excited as opposed to like, you're going up like, God, if I make this, we're only tying, right? That little bit of, I think it's clutch. Both are obviously great and clutch, but I was thinking about like, which one?
Talking about all for athletes to get in the media to prove that they don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
I would push back on that. Like, there's always been jobs for athletes as analysts and all that stuff, and that is his job.
I just thought it was funny because Cam Newton, there was a bad week for Cam.
Yeah,
bad.
But he didn't care. He's one of the guys who doesn't care. Whatever, he's just going to say stuff and wear big hats. Those hats are getting bigger and bigger.
His hat guy?
He's chasing Alice in Wonderland.
No one is making more money in fashion than his hat guy.
Maybe not.
That guy is making tons of money.
And he might be the only hat guy out there. Are there a lot of hat guys?
Monopoly in the hat game.
Yes.
And
Monopoly's hat
has the hat. That guy, yeah.
True. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back, wrap up the show next. Mike McDaniel officially hired as the offensive coordinator for the Chargers until, of course, he takes a head coaching job or at least an interview somewhere.
I get my Mike McDaniels, my Mike McDonald's, and
Mike
McVrabels all mixed up.
Josh McDaniels and Mike McDonald and Mike McDaniel.
Yes. The Michael McDonald.
The Michael McDonald
singer.
That's right.
I like little McDonald.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike. He's a good coach.
Right? He was on like every song in like the late '80s, early '90s.
Got him to the Super Bowl.
Ronald
been the difference. Right. He and Sam Darnold, not Aaron Donald, or
McDonald.
Aaron Donald.
I really wanted
Sam McDonald.
Sam McDonald. There it is.
I really wanted to do the high Michael McDonald voice in the background, just repeating everything that you say. The Sam McDonald.
By the way, tonight on Sports Radio 8, we have Hawk Talk with Bill Self at 6 o'clock, but then 7:30 pregame starting with Arizona and BYU. 8 o'clock, we've got that right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. KU taking on BYU on Saturday with game day heading to Lawrence. BYU playing a home game against Arizona. Yeah,
Hopefully, the freshman duo can battle against each other. Hopefully, Peterson's back.
Yeah,
on the
let's
floor.
hope that he's there.
There's no midweek game for KU this week.
No,
And this is the.
But what a great job by the side judge there to avoid the ball,
Yeah.
not blow his whistle,
Right.
allow the Patriots to run in the end zone.
Yes.
And who's the white hat who immediately calls incomplete?
Oh, it's got to be.
If it's close, don't blow your. How are you not thinking maybe that's a lateral?
Yeah, you're right. That one ref did a great job.
He did.
He got out of the way.
He wanted to call touchdown. He looks back, and his white hat's blown the...
The dumbass back there is like, and I get it, it's like 99 yards, and you're like, well, this is going to take a long time. There's a risk for injury.
99 yards?
No, I'm saying if it would have been on the complete opposite side of the field.
I don't care.
No, you're right.
I don't go.
I don't argue that, but in this situation where it's a clear-cut touchdown, no one's around, there's not really a risk for injury.
It's like 7 yards.
It's 7 yards. It's going to be done in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
How the hell do you blow that? That to me was astoundingly
and you
dumb.
always get fooled by the momentum of the player throwing the ball.
Yes.
Because remember in that Chiefs game in Denver a couple of years ago,
I will say, as someone at Drake May anytime touchdown, I was okay with him calling that down. I was okay with
because he got it.
Because Drake May scored the anytime touchdown. So it helped me, but I'm still dumb.
Yeah.
Still dumb.
Yep. Refs are good, though. I'll tell you
Really
what,
good.
man. They're really good at what they do. The NFL refs.
They should keep them all part-timers.
I say make them full-time so they can be even better at what they do. Like, I don't know that you can get even better. I say they're so good you should cut their hours in half.
Not even part-time, just like subcontractors.
Yeah, that's right. They get paid hourly.
3 hours a day.
That's it.
And once you hit 3 hours, you don't have to work anymore. You run off the field.
Overtime, sorry,
we're not enough
refless.
for it.
It's refless.
Yeah.
No such thing as overtime. Not until the.
They actually get 1.5 time pay in overtime. They get.
Is that right?
That'd be funny.
What happens when they go to double overtime? They
We get
times
overtime in overtime?
That's great. Program next.